Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, ooh, I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast, and that's facts. Only I can make a change. Slowly take a step today. I will never be the same. Cause that's what it takes.
I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hating like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake up obsessed, and everything I do the best. And deep within my mind, you know I'll always manifest it.
Hello and welcome to My Mind Over Your Matter. My name is Rick. Let's get this show started. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Monday. How was your Monday today? Mine was pretty busy. Got a lot of things accomplished. Visited a friend and got her some little goodies for her and her bird. And now I'm back home and got some medicine rolled up. Just rolled it up right now. Smells good. And this medicine right here I picked up today from the dispensary is called garlic grape. What a name, right? Garlic grape. Okay, I hope it doesn't taste like garlic, but man, if it tastes like grape, I'll be in heaven. We're gonna see in a moment. I'm gonna light it up and we're gonna smoke it up, and then I'm gonna judge it. The THC on this one, it's a holy moly 30.21%. 30.21%. This is one of the highest strand of THC. I wonder if they have any more. Now that I'm thinking about it, let's test it, and if it's good, I'll buy another one. Let me check the cart here, check the store, see if they still have it. 9 out of 10, they probably still do because it just came out today. So let me check. Oh, they got a lot in today. Ooh, GMO skunk flower. Okay. Grape. This is the garlic grape that I have right now. I did pick up a deep blue gas flower. So I did pick up two today. I picked up these two, and the garlic grape and the deep blue gas flower. I'm trying to see what else did they get. Magenta Dream. Huh. Oh, but they picked up the small ones. This is 14 grams. They didn't have this earlier when I checked, but these two I don't like. I don't GMO skunk at 14 grams for $68. That's not bad. Scout's breath, small Scout's breath. Just checking real quick. All right, let's try this one because I know they still have this one in stock, so I want to make sure it tastes good. Smells good. Doesn't smell like garlic, so that's good. All right. Let's go with this. Slide it up, and we'll see. We'll see together. Let's get a little bit more flour. Needs more fire. Wow, the candle turned off by itself. Okay, it's gonna be one of those things because I never had my candle turn off on me when I'm lighting my medicine. Here we go. First puff, garlic grape. Hmm. My first thoughts. I can feel it in the back of my throat. I feel like the sensation in the back, so that's a good thing. High THC, really strong. This medicine is actually really strong. Um, Give me like another 10 more puffs, and I'll let you know how I feel. Mmm. It is a little earthy. Hey, Albie, how you doing? I just tapped into the comment section here. Nice. I get high. Yeah, enjoy your high, man. Very good day. And I'm definitely going to get high, Rick. Yeah, hey, the more the merrier for you, man. You deserve it. I don't have any windows open because I wasn't prepared for the show. I was actually at a friend's house. I was at her place and we were having a lot of discussions and we were talking and yeah, we had a good conversation. We were watching game shows on TV while we were talking, and had a good time. And my friend, she's really nice. I've known her for God so many years. I've known her for almost like 12 years, if not 13. I know her for almost like 13 years. She's a good friend of mine, and I was like, let me take her a pack of candles. I took her a pack of candles and some goodies for her bird because she has a cockatoo. So I got him because I as a boy, and his name is Kiss. What a name, right? Kiss. I thought it was a cute name. I was like, oh, if I would have said the name in Spanish, his name would have been Besito. Besito sounds pretty cool, but in English, his name is Kiss. So hey, rock on, dude. Rock on. It's a good thing. Have good friends. You know, it's always good to have good friends and people that you can communicate. It's very helpful, and yeah, it's a good thing. Let's see here. I'm looking for some stories. So give me a second. I tend to stay quiet. It's because I'm trying to gather some stories here for us to watch together. Like I said, I'm setting it up. I haven't watched any of these shows yet or anything that is on here. So as I click, this is going to be the first time for us watching it together, and that I like that. I like doing it like that. Ooh, let's see what else we got here. Anything else? Anything else? Um, I'm just looking. I'm just looking. Man, Melody King, she does a. It's a long one. I don't want to watch 24 minutes straight. I think that's a little too long. But it is interesting to watch it. All right, fuck it. We're gonna watch Melody King. It's just 24 minutes. You know, it's like it is a long period of time. But maybe we could speed it through. That'll be something that we could possibly do. Um, let's see here. There's a system out in the Caribbean that's possibly might develop. So we're gonna take a look at the weather too. We're gonna look at the tropics, even though in the convert zone area where the storms usually develop, the ITC area, the, it's pretty quiet. But the Caribbean is gonna be acting up, and I think it's gonna be ooh, we got some spiciness from the White House. We could check out some spiciness from the White House. Um, Let's see what else. Do. What's going on here? Okay, we're gonna watch this one too. But I'm happy you had a good day, Albie. My day was pretty good. It was pretty active. I did a had a pretty active day, so that's always good. That is always good. Um, okay, we're gonna go check out the news section here. Man, this was 22 minutes. Nah, it's too long. It's too long. They gotta have shorter shows. Oh, but this is about the baby. Oh boy. Um, yeah, let's we're gonna have to check it out because this is the baby Emmanuel. That one's like 22 minutes. Shoot. Okay. Israeli strikes Gaza hospital twice, killing at least 20, including journalists and rescuers. Are you kidding me? What's going on with them over there? I mean, they're just gonna keep going at it. That's gonna be forever. They like Israel never gets reprimanded. They always want to be acknowledged, but never gets reprimanded. The killings in Gaza needs to stop. It just needs to stop because it's getting to the point now that, like, okay, we know Al Qaeda's in there. We got to do a full sweep, but why they don't just go and do a full sweep? Because it's too dangerous. And now they want to take over Gaza, and they want to push more like away from Israel, and that's wild. That's just crazy. Let's see. Okay, this is we can watch this. It's a crackdown going down in Florida with the illegal, well, the undocumented truck drivers. That's a big issue here in the United States, and Florida is taking action on it. Um, okay, I mean, I got some stuff here opened up so we could check out. Woman who lost three daughters, grandson, in deadly Hartford. Oh my God, she lost her family. Oh, we're gonna have to check that out. That's wild, man. That's a sad story of a house fire that happened in Hartford, Connecticut. Um, Three females and a juvenile. Her grandson, a little boy, passed away in a deadly fire here in Connecticut. Really sad. Also, congratulations to Fairfield National, like Little League World Champions. They're out of Fairfield, Connecticut. They did defeat Las Vegas on Saturday, and we're they're celebrating here in Connecticut. We could check out the parade on there. Let's see. We could check this out too. I was just opening windows for us to watch things that I'm interested in watching and for us to watch together. Okay, I think that's it for now. If more pops up, then I'll open it up down the line. Um, New funding for Connecticut airports. Okay, great. Let me check out Tyson's and see if he uploaded anything. I don't think he uploaded during the day, but it's not bad. It's like you can check real quick. Let me check also Jason A. See if he has anything. No. So Tyson, I don't think he releases, but it's gonna be at night. He usually release like at 10:15 at night. Yeah. So we don't got nothing on Tyson, and I don't think I'll be showing him today. That's sad. That's sad for me. Okay, so what we're gonna start with? Where we're gonna start with? What do I want to watch first? Oh goodness gracious! Let's get the sad stuff out the way first. You know, the sad, is the most. But let me get all these all set up because all of them they like to start when you click. So it's like I have to each one I have to like pause it one at a time, which I'm doing a good job. So give me a sec. And here we go. So we're gonna start off with um yeah, we're gonna start out with the fire. I wanna get a see what that's about. You missed my early oh no, not a problem, man. I know Maggie Chloe was on the chat and so was Maggie. So it was a good show this morning. Um if you want you can rewatch it later tonight. It's always fun rewatching. Okay, here we go. Let's make it big and enjoy.
Also, right now, really no words to describe the pain a Hartford mom is feeling. Erica Connor lost 3 daughters and her grandson when that big fire ripped through their home a week ago.
And today, she's telling us what happened that night. It is a story you will only see here on Channel 3. And your reporter, Susan Raff, is live in Schultes Place, where 4 people lost their lives. Susan.
Wow.
A memorial has now been placed outside this home, and you can see there are plenty of balloons, flowers, and stuffed animals, and it's to grow. And that's because 4 were killed, 2 of them children. And today, for the first time, a mother is telling us what it was like inside that.
My daughter down, I hit up the board, moved it out the way, opened the doors. Got my 16, 18-year-old out the way.
Erica Connor did everything she could to get her children out of the house.
Wow.
3rd-degree burns on her hands as she tried to rescue as many as she could.
Oh my
Within
God.
minutes, she realized 3 of her daughters had not been able to escape.
The whole house was engulfed in flames, and they just kept trying to get me to go down to the corner and just get into an ambulance and go. And I'm like, no, where are my babies? I didn't want to leave without my babies.
The fire here on Schultes Place broke out in the middle of the night. They were all sleeping. 7 managed to escape, but not her 25-year-old daughter, Aisha, and Aisha's 3-year-old son, Joshua.
Oh my
Also killed in
God.
the fire, 21-year-old Krista Lee, and 14-year-old Maria Lise.
Oh my
He wouldn't let it
goodness.
back out. They said the fire was orange by then. My babies were gone within minutes. My babies
Wow.
were literally gone within minutes, and I still hoped and prayed when they brought me to the hospital that they would somehow would have. Maybe they jumped out of a window.
But sadly, they did not get out safely, and now this mother is suffering an unbearable loss.
Wow.
There are no words.
You see, this is a parent that's sad
There
of
are
losing
no words
someone.
or comfort for this
See the
grieving mother
difference?
who has lost 3 daughters and a grandson. The cause of this fire is still under investigation, but the family believes it may have indeed started on the front porch. This family
Front
has lost
porch.
everything, and there is a GoFundMe page set up to help the family. If you'd like more information on that, you can go to the Channel 3 app and website, because this mother and her family are now homeless.
Oh
Your
my
reporter, Susan
God.
Raff, Channel 3, live in Hartford.
Oh, but they can find
Susan,
them a
the story
home.
is just so heartbreaking. All of
The
us
city
here
could
at Channel
help.
3 thinking of that poor woman and her family. Thank you.
They could get them housing. They could get them housing. Wow, but that's such a sad story, you know? You see the difference in the people? The difference when you lose someone that you're sobbing, you're crying, you got tears, you're burnt. Like she was like literally you could tell she actually went through something. Her forehead is burnt. Her hair is burnt. Like she's lucky to be alive. She tried to save as many as possible, wasn't able to save them all. And 4 individuals passed away. And we're talking about her daughters and a grandchild. Man, that's so sad. Sad, 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 sad. It sucks to start the show off like that, but you know, I gotta cover it because I didn't see this, so I wanted to see it together. Um, Man, I feel bad for her because they were young. They weren't like the girls were like 21, 25. The baby, I don't know how old was the baby. The other girl was like 14 years old. That's young. That's really young. Wow, that is so sad, man. Damn, that's not good. All right, give me a moment while I set up the other videos because I'm taking the moment now to open all the windows and resize it and all the stuff that I would have edited out. But I'm not doing that. We're doing this live, so you're getting the uncut version. But there's a lot of resizing and movements I got to do. Let me see if that rock is going to go up. Give me 1 sec just to see if that SpaceX is going to take off or what. It's a little late. I don't know why they're taking their time to shoot that rocket up. Let me see if it's going to be scrapped or are they going to launch the damn thing. Give me 1 second to find out. Where are you? I'm not going to that one. Um, can't find anything right now on that. I'm gonna have to type it in. Okay. ICE deports illegal immigrants accused of crimes. I mean, we could watch that if we want. Let me see what's up with the SpaceX. Are they gonna? launch or what's the day? Oh, there's a hold. There's a hold. What does that mean?
So, wet dress is when we fully load prop on rocket. So we are going to see the clock probably start up again. Once they get down to 10 seconds, they're going to work out, and then we will be done for the day. So, sad news. Not going to launch today.
No launch today. No launch. So, because I was gonna go to a live feed to see if they're gonna launch, and I've been monitoring it throughout the day, and they're not gonna launch. So, wah wah for SpaceX has been scrapped. So, not a good thing. Let's go to that parade. I want to see the kids celebrate the win over Las Vegas. We beat Las Vegas. We beat Tyson's team. Connecticut beat Tyson because Tyson's over in Las Vegas. So, but we're the winners. Okay, let's watch this.
Happening right now in Fairfield, a parade to celebrate the Fairfield National Little League team is starting any second right now. Let's take a look at the parade route. The team is expected to ride
down
on
here,
a fire truck
Fairfield.
to see their fans.
Right
Then
here.
we will hear from the team during a celebration on the town green. We have team coverage in Fairfield right now. Matt McFarland and Joe Zone on opposite ends of that parade route. We are going to start with Matt. Matt.
Hi there, Stephanie. Well, they actually stepped off a little early. I'm going to step out of the way so photojournalist Corey Peck can sort of try to zoom in, but you can see the team down there on one of the engine trucks.
Oh, they already passed.
People sort of on the side of the road. They got the police escort throughout the afternoon as they just got here. We saw people sort of honking their horns and saluting them, cheering them on, giving them.
Oh, but how come the news didn't get it on time?
Happy and excited they are.
Ain't that bullshit?
In this run through the Little League World Series, came in third place. They had wins over Texas, Hawaii, South Dakota, Nevada. On Saturday, they lost to Nevada in the U.S. title game, but they came back yesterday morning and beat Aruba, the third place, the best finish by a Connecticut team since 1989 when Trumbull won the Little League World Series. So quite a sort of unbelievable 2 weeks in Williamsport, Pennsylvania for those kids from Fairfield Metro making their way down towards Sherman.
I don't know. It looks a little dangerous with all these cars and people look like they're going to get hit.
Joe.
Oh, this got to be opened up, so come around this way. You're going to see them on the side. Stay on the side. Stay on the grass.
They're coming down the sidewalk, all right? You guys are good.
All right. They're waiting to... You can look down, and the parade is coming toward us. It's really a short parade, but the big excitement is what's going to happen when they get here. Now, the police are clearing out the area. They're going to drop off.
It's a good thing
right
for the
here,
little
walk
kids,
down,
you know?
And if... As you watch them come,
at least they're excited. They're happy.
Pan over just a little bit.
It's a cute thing, you know?
All the people ready here at Sherman Green in Fairfield. This is a big, big deal. Look at the crowd here. I got to tell you, when they get here, we're going to have
a nice little celebration for the kids.
The governor has decided he's going to come in and jump on this bandwagon today. He's going to be
the governor's there too.
Lots of people to celebrate this Fairfield team that did such a tremendous job at the Little League World Series, where they won the first 4, then lost in the U.S. Championship game. But this is the parade headed this way now. We've got people behind the barriers. When they get here, we will go live.
And I believe they came in third place.
You'll be able to see all of that on WFSB.
It's really cute for them, you know.
Live later on, but we'll
like this is core memories.
Somebody says get off the air, because I'm having a hard time between the sirens and the crowd and all the people gathered there. It's hard. So just tell me when it's time to get off, guys, and we'll get off. But it's really, the excitement is unbelievable. This is one.
They can't handle the sounds,
bases, if you will, for the Fairfield Little Leaguers. All right, we are live. Your reporter, Joe Zone, in Fairfield, Channel 3, Eyewitness News.
All right, Joe, I'd love to see you on my TV. But yes, of course, if people want to keep watching the parade, we have other news to get to. But if you want to keep watching that parade right now, there it is live. You can watch it right now, streaming on WFSB Plus. You can find that on your WFSB app or your...
Wow, that's cute. I mean, you know, it's a nice little celebration for the kids. I mean, I think that's a positive story. that's a good story. You know, I mean, they came in third place. They're not champions, but hey, third place is not bad for the Little League World Series. That's actually really great. So, congratulations to them. That's for sure. Give me 1 second. You know what? There was something I wanted to see. Give me 1 second. I know they. Hold on. I think I have it on my. Give me 1 sec. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Yeah, I can find it on my phone. Something that I wanted to see that I didn't get to see, and wanted to watch it with us all together. Who was it that reported it? Oh shit, I'm trying to remember. Um, Give me a moment, and I'll see. And I can't find it. Damn, I'm gonna have to see if I can find it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a video, and then if I find it, I'll broadcast it. So let's check out. Let's see. Let's check this one out, and then I'll be checking on that story, and then I'll see if I can bring it on here.
From Fox, I'm your host, Mike Page. Thanks again for joining us. And next up, we want to take you out to Florida, where the Coast Guard today making history as the Coast Guard announcing the largest drug offload in history, totaling nearly $500 million at the Florida port. The U.S. Coast Guard says crews offloaded 61,000 pounds of cocaine and 14,000 pounds of bulk marijuana at the Port Everglades in South Florida. Let's listen.
Protecting our nation. 80% of all narcotics seized are confiscated at sea, underscoring the impact of Coast Guard maritime interdiction efforts. The U.S. Coast Guard brings unique authorities and unmatched capabilities as the world's leader in maritime counter-drug operations. Every single day, thousands of brave men and women of the Coast Guard stand watch, controlling, securing, and defending our border and maritime approaches. We are proud to serve as a part of the Department of Homeland Security and at all times, one of our military branches. Whether on the water or in the air, the U.S. Coast Guard works hand in hand with our partners. We're on the front lines in the fight against foreign terrorist organizations and other dangerous criminals who seek to flood our community with narcotics, deadly fentanyl, and other illicit substances. To truly understand the significance of this offload, consider this. The 61,740 pounds of cocaine represent 23 million potentially lethal doses. That's enough to fatally overdose the entire population of the state of Florida. Think about that for a moment. Enough cocaine to kill everyone in Florida. That's the immense scale of the threat we face. Maritime interdiction is, without a doubt, the most effective way to stop these deadly drugs before they reach our communities, before they destroy lives and tear our families apart. Under Secretary Noem's leadership, we, the Coast Guard, are committed to dedicating the resources and the effort necessary to stop the flow of dangerous drugs into our country. Over the past several months, the Coast Guard is accelerating its counter-drug operations in the maritime transit zone. In close coordination with our international and interagency partners, we are surging additional cutters, aircraft, and tactical law enforcement teams to the Eastern Pacific Ocean to hunt down interdict, and board these suspected smugglers, all in support of Operation Pacific Viper. This critical operation is one of the Coast Guard's key efforts to interdict, seize, and disrupt the transshipment of cocaine and other bulk illicit drugs that come to us by sea from South America through the Eastern Pacific to our shores. These drugs fuel and enable cartels and transnational criminal organizations, the very same groups that are pushing fentanyl and other deadly substances to our communities. To the crew of Coast Guard Cutter Hamilton and to all our incredible partners here today and those that are still out there doing the mission, I extend my deepest gratitude. Thank you for your extraordinary service, your unwavering commitment, and your tireless efforts to keep America safe. Semper Paratus.
I found the story.
$1 million. With an M. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Good morning. My name's Admiral Chase Sargent. I'm the Deputy Director for Giant South, which is charged with all of the detection and monitoring of drugs, both on the water and in the maritime airspace. And our connection to Coast Guard is obviously we build the picture and pass the ships and the prosecution off to the Coast Guard, who then gets after the drugs, interdicts it, and brings it home. Brings it home for expert burning and disposal. I want to recognize, as Admiral Shammy did, the joint force and the U.S. law enforcement agencies that are here today as well, and many of the ones that aren't. And it's as the Deputy Director down at Giant South, I see firsthand every day the cooperation and the collaboration that goes on between all these groups to make this mission and our mission as successful as it is to detect and monitor, but also to support the Coast Guard, both Coast Guard District Southwest and Coast Guard District Southeast, in executing their part of the mission, which is to get the drugs. And a whole government collaboration that makes detection monitoring so effective. But we're not here to recognize those agencies as much as we are the incredible work you see here in front of you on the collection of 27 plus, and I'm going to say metric tons because we track it in metric tons, but I did the math, it's the same as the pounds. 27 plus metric tons of cocaine and 15.9 thousand pounds of marijuana.
Wow.
And as I'm setting a record for the largest offload by a U.S. Coast Guard vessel. Hamilton, in the 2 months that they were at sea, they were ships, as he mentioned before, the Hamilton, Diligence, the Vigilant, the USS Cole, USS Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the frigate Friesland. It was a glorious grouping of ships at a single time, and to bring together the large offload that you see here today. But if you want to see, in general, what's keeping America safe from drugs, it's this. It's the work they're doing out there every day, every night, 365, 24/7, out in the Eastern Pacific and the Caribbean. This is what's keeping drugs off the streets of America, and this is what's winning the war on drugs in general. An impressive group effort. On top of that record as well, I want to acknowledge the Hamilton in general, the crew of the Hamilton, for demonstrating aggressiveness and perseverance from the day they arrived on mission, and it's resulted in an interdiction of 27 metric tons, 20 plus of it belonging to the Hamilton alone.
Wow.
This is not just an impressive number. It is, we believe, the largest offload of a single ship for a 2-month patrol, or any patrol, as well. So, Captain McWhite, you and your crew should be very proud of this effort. And we expect you back this fall. No? Maybe. If Admiral Chamey will let us, we'll definitely take you back this fall. How about a round of applause for the ship, the Hamilton, and the efforts that they did over the last 2 months? Lastly, I want to thank Hamilton for what I know has not been an easy lift in the last couple of days to be ready for this event. So I want to say bravo Zulu to the crew and the captain for putting on, being ready for this type of offload event, which goes with a lot of man hours, a lot of heavy lift to get things where they need to be and make sure the ship looks as great as it does today. So from there, I'll just say this is an example of what your Joint Force and Coast Guard are doing for you every day to make America safe, to bring in the drugs before they get to America, and produce just a phenomenal effort on this mission. Thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Greg Kehoe. I'm the U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida, part of the Department of Justice, of course. I'm with you with other elements from DEA and FBI, part of the Department of Justice, and other law enforcement elements in Department of Homeland Security, including others. This element is in the Middle District of Florida is called Panama Express, and they are investigating these matters. And Panama Express, so you know, is the most successful counter-drug operation in the nation's history for over 25 years. The U.S. Attorney's Office, FBI, DEA, Coast Guard Investigative Services, and the Department of Homeland Security have done the following: contributed to the arrests of almost 4,000 drug traffickers, including 400 leaders in these organizations. Denied over $45 billion in revenue, and seized over 1.3 million kilograms of cocaine. Each of these interdictions impacts foreign terrorist organizations, the worst of the worst, where it hurts them the most, their wallets. Foreign terrorist organizations are the focus of the Department of Justice and the President in his Operation Take Back America, and they are responsible for the drug trafficking you see before you. Many of the interdicted vessels we are talking about left Venezuela. It is a haven for Tren de Agua and Cartel de Solis, organized crime gangs in Venezuela. These are foreign terrorist organizations responsible for bringing drugs and violence to the United States, and they are a threat to our national security on a daily basis. There's no place that drug traffickers can hide from the United States Coast Guard and its partners, and we are all partners in this. If you are on the high seas in the water smuggling drugs, we, the Coast Guard and our partners, will find you and stop the federal agents and prosecutors doing what you're doing. You will then be sent to the Middle District of Florida and elsewhere for prosecution, and the evidence that they seize will be used in those cases. You will be brought to justice by the United States as appropriate, but keep in mind that this investigation, these matters will continue, these interdictions would continue, and the frontline operations on the high seas will continue, such that nobody is going to be able to hide. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning. My name is John McWhite. I'm a proud crew member of the Cutter Hamilton. Thank you for joining us today as we honor the dedicated crew of Cutter Hamilton. Exceptional deployment. I would like to welcome Deputy Assistant Secretary for Senate Affairs, Mr. Ott, Chief Counsel for Senator Moody, Ms. Bertle, Admiral Chamey, and the Honorable Mr. Kehoe. Thank you all, distinguished guests, for joining us here today as we celebrate the accomplishments of Cutter Hamilton. The U.S. Coast Guard is unique in that it is our specialized abilities, LE authorities, and international partnerships that enable us to detect and interdict traffickers hundreds of miles out at sea to stop the flow of illegal narcotics from reaching the approaches to the United States. Additionally, Hamilton's recent mission execution is backed by Force Design 2028, which is already positively impacting operations, specifically with new streamlined practices, eliminated redundancies, and empowered decision-making at all levels appropriate for success. With full support from Secretary Noem, Mr. Sean Planke, and our Commandant, we now have an increased capability to accomplish our mission at sea and to do so efficiently and effectively. Over the past several months, Hamilton worked collectively while supporting U.S. Southern Command's Joint Interagency Task Force South for counter-narcotics focused maritime interdictions. The crew of Hamilton is the ship's heartbeat. In addition to our outstanding permanent party members, our team was comprised of special operators from tackling.
Right, everyone, great job. Bye.
Okay, well, that was a weird ending to that story. But that's good. The drugs are not going to get in. It's something that we don't have to worry about now. One less thing to worry about, and that's less drugs on our streets. And the fact that it was in a cargo ship and it's just ridiculously amount of drugs, that's crazy. Okay, let's check out a couple of more stories here. Let's check out of California. There's a wildfire going on out there, so let's check this one out here. Actually, you know what? While I'm doing that, let me set all this up. So I did open up some more windows that I want to watch with you guys. So we're gonna watch it together. It's gonna be a long show. No. But it's stuff that I would like to watch for you guys.
A family is begging.
We could get this properly set up. It's just got some wild stories, some sad stories, maybe some weird stories. But we got a lot to watch together. But right now I'm just resizing everything so everything looks nice for us. I think we're going to watch that one. Okay, we're going to watch this one first because this is the one I was looking for and I found it. So let's go ahead and watch.
States with the country's first confirmed case of New World screwworm in Maryland, according to health officials there. This is a flesh-eating parasite that officials say was found earlier this month in somebody who had recently traveled to El Salvador. The good news, they're saying that the risk this spreads is very low. This parasitic worm is usually found in animals. It can be found in pets, for example, but it can be pretty damaging beyond that. It can kill whole herds of cattle. And the USDA estimates a bad outbreak could devastate the beef industry in Texas to the tune of nearly $2 billion. I want to bring in NBC medical contributor, Dr. Kavita Patel. Dr. Kavita Patel, you knew if there was a flesh-eating parasite, we were going to be talking about it on this show and what we need to know, right? We thought this was eradicated, didn't we? Didn't we think this was pretty much wiped out?
Yeah, you're right, Hallie. It was eradicated. And this was done
Like the
decades ago
measles, right?
through a fascinating mechanism. We actually raised billions of sterilized screwworm flies. We raise the flies, sterilize them with radiation, and then drop them out of planes. You feel like this is a science fiction movie. It was real. Over Mexico and Central America, because the flies can't reproduce, they can't propagate the screwworm fly. So that's basically how we created this barrier zone, which has worked for decades until recently, as it's broken down kind of in that Panama, Colombia region, and then it can spread from there.
Is it not at all bad for humans? Is it a little bad for humans? Can it not spread to humans? Like, how concerned should we be?
Yeah, so the concern, obviously, for humans is there. It's treatable. So it's not just that we need to identify it, but it's also, Hallie, the implication for cattle and for crops and for people, for animals. So it's people, animals, all of our ecosystem that can be exposed to this. So what happens basically is they kind of hatch their eggs and larvae into like an open wound. And this can be in any animal, including a human, but it can be in cattle. And then once the eggs hatch, they then actually eat the flesh And unfortunately, obviously, that cannot do any good for any sort of cattle ranchers or ranchers and farmers in general. And it results in culling these crops. And if it can happen to a human, whether it's from travel exposure, weakened immune systems, that's exactly how we saw this Maryland case progress.
Can it
but
spread?
treatable, recognizable.
Okay.
It can, humans can't, it can. Yes, it can spread, but this is again why we're seeing that reproduction of those sterilized flies come back into the forefront, because what we need to do is really kind of stop this from propagating and any reinfestation that could happen. So that's the most important thing that we can do. And of course, staying away from anything or recognizing it, just as this individual did.
Dr. Kavita Patel, we're glad to have you on, walking us through all of it. Thank you very much.
You.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated on breaking news and top stories.
It's funny how things get eradicated, right? How they say eradicated, but life still finds a way. These bugs still finds a way. So, it is what it is, right? Okay, let's go to another story here. I'm going to go like rapid fire on the news because I do have a lot of windows open. So I want to go as fast as possible on some of them. So we're going to go like rapid sensation for a while, and then we'll slow it down, and then we'll go a little quick. Because if not, I'll be here all night. And I'm not trying to be here all night. I'm sorry. I love you guys, but not that much. Because my neck is hurting. So I don't like the way it feels. It just sucks when it hurts. It's not your fault, but something that I'm going through.
I'm Kelsey Carlson. Our top story, a woman was rushed to North Memorial Hospital overnight after she asked a group of people in front of her home to quiet down. They responded with gunfire.
She is expected to be okay. Our Babs Santos is live in Minneapolis this evening. And Babs, law enforcement still has not found the shooter.
Yeah, Randy Kelsey, that shooter still has not been found. Meanwhile, today we spoke with 4 families on that street and saw 2 videos that gave us a pretty clear understanding of exactly what happened overnight.
Oh, Lord.
I heard some voices, and when I went to look out the front window, that's when the gunshot started roughing, and I hit the ground. I ain't never been that close to a shooting before.
At least 3 families we spoke to told us they also dropped to the ground as around 3 in the morning, multiple shots rang out.
All I heard was gunshots.
What they believe was automatic gunfire, somewhere between at least 20 to 40 shots in response to a noise complaint.
It was a lot of gunshots.
This man showed us the damage done to his SUV, riddled with bullet holes from the front to the back. His 2 front tires now flat after a situation that he recognizes could have been much worse.
It's a vehicle. Did nobody else get hurt? I didn't get hurt, so that's the main thing, because a car can be repaired.
Oh my God! Yeah, but your car shot up.
Another neighbor said they heard screaming, partying, and fighting on the street in the middle of the night, and also asked the group of adults in 4 to 5 cars to quiet down. Not long later, a woman's voice is heard on video again, asking the crowd to go home. Then shots are fired. Neighbors believe the woman was shot in the shoulder.
Yeah, I seen them take somebody to the ambulance last night. She looked like she was doing pretty good. She walked out to the car. Thank God that nobody died. That's the main thing.
There shouldn't be no shooting, period. I'm just saying, that's just a weird story. I mean, that's not a good story. That's a weird one. Oh, goodness gracious. What this world is coming to. Wait a minute. You're telling people to shut the fuck up because they're too loud, right? They're loud. They're probably not even from the neighborhood. They probably don't even live there, but yet they're outside of your house and they're just overly loud. So she told them to quiet down one time. Then a second time she told them, shut the fuck up. And then they came around and they shot her up. They shot the house up. They shot the car. They shot everything. Like, are you kidding me? How is that like normal? That's fucking crazy. That's what that is. This world is coming to. I'm telling you, I'm rooting for the asteroid. The asteroid. It's somewhere like over there that way. See those stars over there? Well, somewhere on there is an asteroid, and it's coming to Earth. So keep being negative and keep doing wrong, and you'll see. They're gonna be like, oh shit, he warned us. Look, he warned us. Yep, I did. Now, too late. So let's go ahead and watch the next show here. I put some drops in my eyes, so it's a little hard to see.
Foreign-born people in America fell by 1.5 million in the first 6 months of 2025. Meanwhile, ICE is on track to deport just 400,000 illegal immigrants for the whole year. A lot more illegal migrants are self-deporting than being expelled, which is surely how most Americans want things to go. And it's a lot more practical than any kind of mass roundups. The Trump administration is increasing deportations. This year's 400,000 indicates robust efforts. But Team Trump's rhetoric matters plenty too, sending a message to strongly override the "everybody come on in" signals of the prior 4 years. See the Fed's plans to review the status of 55 million visa holders as yet another signal, a warning that those who've been abusing their visas, it's time to acquire permanent legal status if you mean to stay permanently, or make plans to leave. In other words, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Prodding and persuasion were always going to be crucial in undoing the Biden mess. ICE, despite a big expansion of its budget and the firm support of the president, can't detain and deport that many people. It would require mass roundups that aren't remotely politically practical. Voters want all the worst illegal immigrants sent home, but will balk at ham-handed enforcement. So seriously reducing the illegal population is going to involve a lot of self-deportation. Doing it on your own also preserves the chance to return legally. President Trump won re-election by promising to get everything back under control. By stopping new illegal migration cold, he's proved that Democrats were simply lying when they said it couldn't be done without passing new laws. Now he needs to show that greatly reducing the illegal population doesn't require police state tactics and other savage cruelty. Well, of course, lefties who oppose policing of all kinds will keep screaming about even reasonable immigration enforcement. But that just exposes their extremism to the broader public. High-profile but deft toughness is delivering exactly what the public wants. Expect Team Trump to stick to what's already working.
Wow. That's okay. Let's go to the next one. We're just gonna rapid fire this one. I can't see, so I took off my glasses. I'm trying to let the drops like dry up a little bit because it really like blurs my vision.
With our exclusive today. Janine?
And no doubt, this is a case that has rattled parents right here in North Miami. And just a short time ago, we did obtain that body camera video showing the moments that 30-year-old is arrested. Watch police make a beeline towards this man in blue shorts.
Turn. What happened? Relax.
They say this is 30-year-old Matthew Duchatelier, accused of trying to abduct a young girl days earlier. He's cuffed and searched.
What happened? Get a detective. I need to talk to you at the station.
You've been charged with kidnapping of
Wow.
a child, attempt of a child under 13.
He faced
Oh
a
my
judge
God.
over the weekend. It was Thursday afternoon when detectives say it happened.
She was coming from school, but she kept looking behind her.
This young witness, who doesn't want to show her face, says Duchatelier stopped his car and tried to grab an 11-year-old girl near 136th Street and Northeast 10th Avenue.
Whoa.
She grabbed the gate to open it, and he ran towards her and grabbed her. She was screaming. She was just screaming, "Help, help."
The girl fights him off. He peels away. Detectives go door to door, but would soon get the leads they need to find him. It's not the first time he's been in
Oh my
trouble with
God.
the law.
Ooh.
In October, Duchatelier was accused of molesting a 13-year-old girl inside a North Miami TJ Maxx.
Oh my God.
He was on probation for that case.
He faces a charge of attempted kidnapping and
He
that
should be in
probation
jail.
violation. For that charge, he's being held without bond.
How the hell is he out?
Local 10 News.
Neighborhood
These type of people should not be out in public. They should not be out with society. That's crazy. All right, let's go to the next one.
Now to a story about a beloved animal that few Americans knew about before it went viral online. I didn't. We are talking about the capybara. The South American creature is now helping support the care of other at-risk animals. Manuel Bojorquez takes us to the Capybara Cafe in Florida.
There aren't many places where you can pair your cup of joe with a capybara. But here at the Capybara Cafe in St. Augustine, Florida,
we're going to be feeding the capybaras. We're going to feed them with a flat hand on the ground.
they are the main attraction.
You take a piece of kale just like this.
Justin Burgess is head supervisor of the animal care team.
And you just put it right there in front of their face. They're very, very gentle about it.
What is a capybara?
Capybara is the world's largest rodent. They are native to South America. Basically, you can think about a guinea pig that got to be 100, 150 pounds.
They have become hugely popular on social media, especially with young people who think they're simply cute. But to learn more about how this place came to be a Capybara Cafe, you have to visit the nearby Noah's Ark Animal Sanctuary, where anything from goats to tortoises who need help are rehabilitated.
You can't trust
this
people.
sanctuary, however, runs on donations, which all but dried up during the COVID pandemic.
Eventually, it became an idea that we need to come up with something creative to get funding, or we're going to have to shut our doors and leave some of these animals out on the street. They happened to hear about capybara cafes out in like Tokyo, Japan. They thought, well, we could probably do something similar to that.
Our capybaras can also actually bark similar to how a dog or a prairie dog would.
Enter their three big cappies, aptly named Mocha, Latte, and Macchiato.
They're so adorable.
Oh, Lord.
There are pups, too. For an entry fee, you can leave the cafe lobby and head into one of these rooms where people can feed, pet, or just hang out with these laid-back rodents.
It might have something left this afternoon.
And boy, has it caught on.
Okay. No, I don't. Let me try tomorrow.
David and Sam came from Atlanta.
That's good.
Did you come here on vacation?
You're making money.
Just specifically for this. You came specifically
We planned the
for
whole
this?
trip around.
Is that right?
Annie, Kate, and Carter are from Virginia.
So tell me, what does your t-shirt say?
In my capybara era.
In your capybara era, what is it about these animals that you love so much?
I just find them like so cute. I'm honestly speechless. It was so much fun, like just being able to see my favorite animal in the world.
So you're hoping that people's fascination with these animals educates them about the need to protect.
Yeah, but then they're going to want
That's
them.
the big thing for us is protecting the animals, conserving wildlife, keeping species out of harm's way.
And keeping at least one species, these humans, very happy, like Philadelphia's Jim Saunders.
I follow more capybaras on Instagram than I follow people.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
What is it about them?
I don't know. I have no idea.
As they say around here, don't worry, be cappy. For CBS Mornings, I'm Manuel Bojorquez in St. Augustine, Florida.
The cafe's profits go to Noah's Ark and other local sanctuaries. It has been so successful that they opened a second location in St. Petersburg with plans for a third in the Florida Panhandle. Are we all going to the cafe?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably go to Orlando too. I mean, it would be smart if you were to take to Orlando. Orlando's it's like a tourist destination, tourist trap. Let's go ahead and check out more news.
It is illegal and unusual, these discoveries at Detroit Metro Airport.
Yeah, bush meat. That's meat from rats, bats, baboons, and more. I know we got your attention. The feds aren't monkeying around with this. Fox 2's Jessica Dupnack is live at the airport. Jessica, do explain.
Yeah, we need some context here, right, Rupe and Amy? So this is crazy. Customs and Border Protection, they seized back-to-back bushmeat smugglers here at DTW. Now, the first one, it was 11 pounds of rodent meat in someone's luggage. And a couple days later, they found 52 pounds of monkey meat stacked away. We, of course, had to ask passengers what they thought.
Oh, that's gross.
The faces say it all.
Oh, well.
What do you think of that?
That's disgusting.
Back-to-back seizures of bushmeat at Detroit Metro Airport in 1 week. First, 11 pounds of rodent meat in the bags of a passenger coming from Togo in West Africa.
That is not appetizing at all, I would say. I do like red
How
meat.
the hell would they
And next
try
up, the
that?
headliner, Customs and Border Protection uncovering 52,
How did they get on the plane?
52 pounds of primate meat.
That's a lot of monkey meat. My goodness.
The passenger claimed it's
Little boy,
antelope
my
meat,
goodness.
but the monkey meat coming from Central Africa, possibly this little guy or the sun-tailed monkey.
It looks tasty.
You're lying.
Ew.
No, it looks good.
You'd eat that.
I'd eat it.
You're
Ew.
kidding.
I'm kidding.
Customs and Border
Ew.
Protection says primate seizures are very
Yeah, he'd probably
rare.
eat it.
What's the weirdest thing in your bag right now?
No comment.
We had to ask.
What's the craziest thing you've eaten?
The craziest thing I probably ever eaten was my wife's meatloaf. I compare that to the monkeys.
Wait, let's show the wife. Let's show the wife right there. We actually found someone who's eaten monkey.
It's horrible.
What does monkey meat taste like?
Honestly, it tastes like horse.
Really? The rodent packer
Tastes
and the
like
monkey
horse.
meat smuggler slapped with a $300 fine each. The not so funny part, this kind of bushmeat has a serious risk of carrying some scary diseases which can wreak havoc in humans.
And I know all cultures and customs, they have different foods that they eat, but it's not something that appeals to me.
Wow.
Yeah, fair enough. This could all be a delicacy somewhere else, but our unofficial poll here at DTW, it was not a delicacy to these passengers. Now, Customs and Border Protection says that they find all kinds of things. They found some live snails recently, animal skulls, and in most cases, it's not malicious. It's a misunderstanding. Reporting live in Romulus, Jessica Dupnack, Fox 2 News.
And Jess, that's exactly what I was going to ask you in these two cases, these sort of back-to-back cases. Did the folks trying to bring this in know that they weren't supposed to have it? Were they trying to smuggle it into Metro Airport, or did they just have it in their bag because they were coming to visit and giving someone a delicacy gift?
Yeah, interesting gift there. In the case with the rodents, it sounds like it was a misunderstanding. But in case of those monkeys, if you remember the story, 52 pounds of that, they said it was antelope, not primate. So it does sound like something maybe a little nefarious going on with that one.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you so much for that one, Jessica Dupnack. Always interesting.
That's disgusting. Oh, okay. Let's go to another one. Let's go next.
We are also following developing news from the Inland Empire, where the search continues for 7-month-old Emmanuel Hara, who is presumed dead. Investigators say the baby's parents faked his kidnapping. KTLA 5's Jillian Smuckler live in San Bernardino with the very latest in this investigation. Good morning.
Good morning, Lou. Yeah, major developments in just the past 24 hours for that search for 7-month-old Emmanuel. Now, what we could tell you is that his father was spotted over the weekend searching for his body, while his mother gave her first jailhouse interview, maintaining her innocence and standing by her story, saying she's committed to finding her son. Now, Rebecca and Jay Caro, they were arrested at their home in Cabazon on Friday on suspicion of murder with malice. They arrested the couple 8 days after the baby's mother reported that Emmanuel had been stolen from her, all while she was changing his diaper in the parking lot of a Big Five. But in a jailhouse interview with a Southern California News Group reporter yesterday, she maintained her innocence despite law enforcement accusing the couple of killing their son. She reportedly said she isn't giving up on her baby and that she wished she were out searching for him. She also allegedly shook her head when asked about rumors that days before she reported the kidnapping, she went to the Big Five, told employees that her car was burglarized, and asked whether the business had surveillance cameras. Now, her husband, Jake, also made headlines over the weekend. He was spotted wearing an orange jumpsuit yesterday looking for his missing baby. He was searching a remote area in Moreno Valley with detectives. It is still unclear what led them there, given it's about 10 miles south of where Emmanuel was first reported missing. But after an hours-long search yesterday, investigators say Emmanuel's body still has not been found. Now, the couple is standing by their story of what exactly happened to their baby, and they're expected to make their first court appearance tomorrow at the Riverside Hall of Justice. Back out here live, we are still waiting to find out if there's going to be another search today and where investigators are focusing on. Of course, very little details behind the scenes as to why they were searching that area just yesterday. Also, a lot of people are wondering, why is Rebecca not involved in the search? So we are still here outside the sheriff's office pressing to get some of those answers for you. And the moment we do, we will let you know. But reporting live from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office, Jillian Smuckler, KTLA 5 News.
Crazy. Let's go next story.
California's Napa County, where the picket fire is growing, prompting new evacuations while threatening homes and wineries. Tonight, hundreds of first responders are battling the flames fueled by scorching temperatures and dry conditions. 30 million Americans across the West are experiencing a brutal heat wave this weekend. CBS's Elise Preston in Los Angeles leads us off tonight. Elise.
Jerika, Los Angeles, along with much of Southern California, is under an extreme heat warning. Triple-digit temperatures and dry conditions are making it very difficult for firefighters.
Fire crews in California's wine country are struggling to slow the spread of the fast-moving Picket wildfire near Napa. More than 1,200 firefighters are attacking flames from the air and on the ground. The fire has grown to about 7,000 acres since it began Thursday, with many under new evacuation warnings.
Just necessities for a few days. We're kind of tired of this.
State fire officials say the wildfire is moving out of the hills and dangerously close to vineyards, worrying winemakers like Banyan Kirkendall.
It's the smoke on the grapes. The quicker they can get this thing out and the smoke can leave, we can make good wine again.
Lightning sparked several small fires in Southern California that crews quickly got under control. Hurricane Erin is delivering flooding to the Carolinas as it moves further away from the East Coast. Powerful storms dumped more than 10 inches of rain in Charleston, South Carolina, closing roads and damaging businesses.
In my 35 years of life, this is the worst flooding I've ever seen.
With high temperatures and dry conditions, fire officials say this relentless wildfire activity could last at least through September. Jerika?
Elise Preston in Los Angeles, thank you. Scorching heat in the west, a sudden cool down in the east. Let's get our forecast now from CBS News meteorologist Andrew Kozak. Andrew.
Yeah, good evening, Jerika. Lots of extremes to talk about. Tonight, we start on the West Coast. Desert Southwest, a bit of a breather from the worst of the heat, but the Pacific Northwest still sweltering the next couple of days. Nearly the entire state of Washington underneath some sort of heat alert all the way through Tuesday, if not Wednesday for some areas. We're talking about temperatures in some cases not only way above average, but about 19 degrees above average. Places like Spokane, Washington, we're going to stay this warm through at least Wednesday. Meantime, we've been watching the picket fire. This is, of course, in Napa County. We've been talking about 7,000 acres burning and counting, likely to still be an issue with dry conditions through the beginning of the upcoming week. To the tropics, of course, Fernand weakening as we continue to see it move to the north. It will fluctuate a bit, but no threat to land. Tonight, I am watching a cluster of thunderstorms, AL99, about 200 miles west of the Windward Islands. We'll keep our eye on it. And finally, a big trough building in the central and eastern part of the U.S. means much cooler temperatures for two-thirds of the country for the week ahead. Jerika?
Not necessarily a bad thing. Andrew Kozak, thank you.
It's going to get nice and chilly here, which is good. All right, let's go to another story. Let's go to this one here.
Florida leaders Monday announced immigration enforcement is getting surged on state roadways. Specifically at semi-truck checkpoint stations. The state has a new facility under construction. It's creating pullover lanes to interdict along the northern border, installing new X-ray machines, and bringing on dozens of fresh troopers.
Last week, 3 people died after an illegal immigrant made an illegal U-turn on Florida's Turnpike. This accident happened because of Joe Biden's failed border policies and immigration policies.
It comes as the state's attorney general continues supporting arrests of undocumented drivers, Florida not recognizing their licenses under a new state law. The latest was in Bay County Sunday night. Roberto Carlos Vergara Cervantes from Ecuador operating a commercial truck with a New Jersey license. He's on an ICE hold, and the AG says will be deported.
There's no telling how many illegal aliens are in this country driving large commercial vehicles and putting American families in a safety risk every single day.
Uthmeyer also sending this letter to the U.S. Transportation Secretary, urging suspension of California and Washington commercial driver's license programs. That's after the states approved CDLs for this undocumented driver, Harjinder Singh. He's alleged to have made an illegal U-turn on August 12th. It all prompted Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins' unusual decision to fly to California last week and personally escort the driver.
And take accountability and take illegal immigration seriously.
Singh faces 3 counts each of vehicular homicide and manslaughter. He's being held without bail, but the story has garnered international attention. A Change.org petition supporting him has nearly 2.8 million signatures, and immigration attorneys question whether Singh will get a fair trial.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult for him because they are all over the media vilifying this person, even though he did have a work authorization that was issued by the Department of Homeland Security.
Meanwhile, critics on both sides of the aisle have started attacking the state's handling of the case as political theater.
This is probably the most transparent and embarrassing example of taxpayer-funded political grandstanding.
When they told us when they embarked on this immigration enforcement regime that they were going to be focusing on individuals who posed a threat to the community, and overwhelmingly we see that that has not been the focus.
California officials also continue to push back online. Governor Gavin Newsom's office noting that Singh entered the U.S. under Trump in 2018 and received his latest federal work permit this year.
That's interesting. Let's check out on another video about this.
More than 2.5 million people signed a petition calling for leniency for the illegal migrant accused of killing 3 as he and his brother face deportation. It says this, quote, "This was a tragic accident, not a deliberate act. While accountability matters, the severity of the charges against him does not align with the circumstances of the incident. The driver has no prior record with fully cooperating with authorities." Here to react is former DHS Secretary, Executive Vice President, and Chief Strategy Officer at America First Policy Institute, Chad Wolf. Chad, does he deserve sympathy? Do you agree with the 2.5 million who want leniency?
Well, I don't agree with that petition at all. No, this individual was here illegally. Obviously doesn't speak the language. Probably had a very difficult time understanding road signs and the like, and unfortunately killed 3 individuals with his actions. And so where's the sympathy for the victims here? We see this time and time again from the left is they will run to the side of the illegal alien committing an act or a crime of some kind, but they give little deference. They give little attention to the victims of those crimes as well.
So we'll see what happens. The petition demands these 3 things: reasonable sentence, parole eligibility, alternative sentencing measures. Keep in mind, he was caught speeding and either relied or other companies were involved with giving an illegal immigrant a commercial driver's license. So he was basically a moving time bomb, if you ask me. Wow. The other story we're covering this morning is Kilmar Abrego Garcia. Remember, he was immediately deported to El Salvador because suspected of being a MS-13 gang member, as well as being a 2-time domestic abuser. But they brought him back from El Salvador because the judge said that was the one place he was in danger in. So now that he's back, he could be deported within 72 hours to Uganda, or he could be reported to Costa Rica. Your thoughts about how it's being handled and the sympathy he's starting to drum up?
Well, again, the left, this is their cause, right? They're going to run to those that the Trump administration is simply enforcing the law on. I think it's important to remember Abrego Garcia came into the country around 2011 illegally. He got a final order of removal from an immigration judge in 2019 that says you have no legal right to be here in the United States and you must leave. He declined, or he defied that order as well. And then he got a withholding of removal that said we can send him anywhere except El Salvador. And I know the Trump administration disagrees with that. So if I'm the Trump team, obviously they're pursuing charges against him, human trafficking charges and the like. And I'm sure they want to see that through. But they also have the ability to remove him to another safe third country, Costa Rica, Uganda, or basically anywhere else in the world that we have agreements. And so they're likely going to do that. They should do that. He has no legal right to be here in the United States.
Governor Wes Moore says, I want due process. I just simply want a court and a judge to decide what is going to be the future of his fate. And he said Donald Trump is making excuses for a broken immigration system instead of trying to fix it. What do you think about what the governor of Maryland said?
Well, I think it's just wrong. We talk about due process in this case. Abrego Garcia got his due process when he saw an immigration judge in 2019. That judge again, I'll reiterate, said you don't have a legal right to be here in the United States and you must leave. And he defied that order. So the Trump team has the ability to remove this individual. Obviously, a little bit more, the circumstances are a little bit more complicated now, but the ability to remove this individual is not in question. It should not be in question. And you see all these people, you see the, Democratic congressman saying he must remain in his home, here in Maryland. That is not his home. He is not a U.S. citizen. And so he needs to be removed from the country and likely will not be returning.
All right. Former acting DHS Secretary Chad Wolf, thanks so much.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click
Why
here
is
to
he
subscribe to the Fox News YouTube
You know what I
page.
mean? Why is he still here? That's my question. He should not even be here. He should be like on a plane right now and being jetted off somewhere. I mean, if I was him, Costa Rica does not sound bad. I would choose Costa Rica any day. Any day of the week. Twice on Sunday for sure. Like, I don't know. Let's go to continue watching.
A bit of he said, she said brewing between President Trump and Maryland Democrat Governor Wes Moore.
I met him at the Army-Navy game. They said, "Oh, there's Governor Moore. He'd love to see you." He came over to me, he hugged me, shook my hand. You were there. He said, "Sir, you're the greatest president of my lifetime." I said, "Well, it's really nice that you say that. I'd love you to say it publicly, but I don't think you can do that, so it's okay." And then every time I see him on television, he's knocking the hell out of me. But that's all right. It's called politics.
Knocking the hell out of him. Wes Moore is posting on social media saying that President Trump can't walk, but maybe he should walk the streets of Baltimore. It didn't take him long to respond to the president there in the Oval Office. He said, "LOL, keep telling yourself that, Mr. President." It'd be wild, though, if only we had the footage that President Trump had referenced about them meeting at the Army-Navy game. And thanks to the Art of the Surge on Fox Nation, we have the footage.
Oh, shit.
President, welcome back to Maryland, sir. Welcome back to Maryland. It's good to see you.
In person, too.
Thank you, sir. Great to see you. Great to see you. And great to have you back here. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we are very, very anxious to be able to work closely with you, and I know the Key Bridge is something that we're it's going well. I mean, we spoke with Speaker Johnson yesterday, and Speaker Johnson says he believes that we're close to the 100% cost share. And the thing is, I told him when we get that 100% cost share done, we are going to be able to open the Key Bridge under your watch, because I will have it done in 28. On time and on budget.
We'll help you out.
Thank you, sir.
We didn't hear their greatest president ever, but we did hear a lot of enthusiasm and so excited to meet you, Mr. President. Who's telling the truth? We'll let you decide.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page.
He was like literally very happy to meet the president. I mean, who wouldn't be happy? I don't know who would be the grunchy one. We'll find out. Let's see some more news. We're going back to Trump again. I think Trump got a little pissed today. Let's see.
Somebody's willing to give you 10% of a company and you're not paying for it. And I will tell you, with a company like Intel, as you know, it's had difficulty. I want them to do well. I want them to do well anyway, but I want them to do well in particular then.
But isn't public ownership of a private company a new way of doing business in the business of the United States? Isn't that what you were
So are
projecting?
tariffs. So as you know, the stock market went up almost 1,000 points on Friday. And it went up not because of this very, I think, terrible, hello, who is that back there? Get out of the room. It went up because of something much different. It went up because it was announced, CBO announced the numbers, and as you know, they gave no credit to tariffs. They said they made a mistake, that the trade deficit will be reduced because of Trump's tariffs, will be reduced by $4 trillion, right? Is that what they said, right? They said $4 trillion, and the market went up like a rocket ship because the tariffs are good. Well, tariffs aren't that usual. If the 7 wars I stopped 4 of them were because of the fact that I had tariffs and trade. And I was able to say, well, if you do this, if you go fight and you want to kill everybody, that's okay. But I'm going to charge you each 100% tariff when you trade with us. You know what? They all gave up. I stopped 7 wars. Numerous of them was because of tariffs. So, you never knew the word tariff. It didn't exist really, essentially, in this country until actually in the 1870s up till 1913 it existed. And we were the richest country. We were richer then, proportionately, than at any time in the history of our country. And then, stupidly, in 1913, they said, let's go to the income tax way of life. Let the people pay instead of foreign countries. No, we're taking in trillions of dollars in tariffs, and we're stopping wars because of tariffs. So that's not so normal either. But you know what? Other countries did it to us, and now we're doing it to other countries.
That's pretty. Trump kicking the reporter out. That's funny. He's like, get the fuck out. Your phone wants to go off? Get the fuck out of my room. Get out of here. Like, yeah, the president commands the room. He is the president of the United States. He says if you want to stay or not. Like, it's not a, when he says get the fuck out, it's like, get the fuck out. That's it. You're done. Just is what it is. Okay, so let's see what we have left. Because I think I'm going to be getting off here soon. Tonight, we don't have Tyson Da Cruz. Because he usually uploads around 10:15. I'm going to be getting off of here soon. So, let's see what I could do. Where I want to watch. Because these are longer videos that we're going to watch. I just think I'm going to do two. Let's see. Yeah, we got to check this one, and then give me 1 sec to set it up. All right, here we go. Hold on. I got to put in the screen. Okay. Let's go ahead and check this out.
We are following several breaking updates in the search for Emmanuel Haro. This is a picture per KABC TV of the missing 7-month-old's dad in an orange jumpsuit with detectives searching for his son. Jake Haro and the boy's mom, Rebecca, were arrested on Friday. Both are now accused of murder in the death of their son, Emmanuel Haro, but his body has still not been found. And another twist that we're following, even though we saw Jake Haro, the dad, out with detectives, his wife, the boy's mom, is still reportedly sticking to her story that the child was kidnapped in an interview she just did from jail. We're on the case presented by Law and Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. All right, we have a lot to get to in the search for Emmanuel Haro. At the time of this recording, Emmanuel is still missing. His body has not been found. Now, sadly, this is a case where deputies are not expecting to find Emmanuel alive because both of his parents have been charged with murder. They believe that this child was killed. Here are newly released mugshots for Jake and Rebecca Haro. Both have been in jail since Friday morning in Riverside County, California. They were arrested by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office. This is video that Sheriff's Office put online on Friday, showing both of them being walked out of their home. This was in the morning. It appears they were still in PJs and boxers as they were being led to cruisers to be taken into custody. All of this taking place outside Los Angeles. Now, it's unclear what the evidence really is that detectives have that pushed them to make an arrest and to believe that Emmanuel was murdered. Now, there was hope overnight that Emmanuel's body would be found. Here is an image from KABC TV of Jake Haro standing with detectives in an area off a highway about 22 miles from his house. This happened last night. Now, deputies said as Jake was there, they searched the area with cadaver dogs, but they did not find Emmanuel's remains. Now, as for Jake's wife, Rebecca, you probably saw her initial interview on KABC, her alleged cry for help, saying that her son had been abducted and she was attacked. Here's her story.
Got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember.
Now that is an alleged lie, according to deputies in Southern California.
Hold on, I had to pause this. I have to pause this. Oh my God. Let's bring it back to me. How's your night going? Hola! Oh no, not the hola. Oh no. She saw all white. She hola. Like what? Are you kidding me? One punch. And the fact that they said hola. Oh my goodness. And then the father is out in the mountain terrain where I saw the body dumped. Listen, if they didn't bury that boy, wild animals got to him. Okay. Now they're gonna have to search that area really good, but you know, these coyotes, you know, out there, you got a lot of mountain lions. You got listen, food is food, and a baby is as good as any food there is out there. And good possibility that boy's probably not going to be found. And if he's buried, then that's a great opportunity to find him, because they could, if he's on a shallow grave or something like that, then you know they can find his remains and do a proper burial for him. But if they just dumped him out in the open like that, good chance mountain lions, foxes, wolves, all those animals took bites and so forth. And you know, free dinner is free dinner, no matter what it is. Meat is meat, and human meat is as good as animal meat. It doesn't matter. You know, they're like, holy shit, this is divine, and they're gonna just chomp up and eat. They don't care. Like wolves don't care. They're gonna eat. Bears. There's all types of animals out there that they will take advantage and eat a baby. You know? So these two are super reckless. I hope they never see the light of day. The fact that this guy's out and looking for, you know, a needle in a haystack, it's just amazing, right? I mean, did he dump the body? And why is she stuck with that story of, oh, hola, and they took the baby? She's sticking to that story while the other one is searching for the baby out by the mountains and stuff. I tell you, this case is just getting more interesting. It's going to continue to get more interesting. We're going to follow up on it too, because I'm invested in it. So let's continue watching. Yeah, set this up here. Hola.
Rebecca is also, though, now talking from jail. She just gave an interview. It was posted actually around the same time that Jake was out with detectives. And before I get into what she is now saying, let me remind you how she and her husband went public with their alleged crocodile tears more than a week ago. Let's play that soundbite by Rebecca again.
Got him out of the car seat and I laid him down and so I could get his diapers ready. And somebody said, "Hola," and that's all I remember.
So there's Rebecca, like hyperventilating on KABC. That was on August 14th. I will note, the television station says they didn't see any tears in her eyes as she gave that emotional soundbite. She claims that she and Emmanuel went to a sporting goods store in Yucaipa, California Thursday night after they were at a football game for the Haro's other son. Before going into the store, Rebecca claimed that Emmanuel needed a diaper change, so she went to change him, and that's when she heard someone say, "Hola." The next thing she knows, she says she was on the ground and Emmanuel was gone. Now, she had the black eye to prove it, right? That she was attacked. Well, that story seems to really be falling apart. We've been told that that bruise looks like it had been healing for a good amount of time. And it's come to light that she actually reportedly had that black eye nearly 2 weeks before her call to law enforcement and her story of this alleged abduction. Here's what Jake Haro said to cameras from KABC as well.
Whoever took our son, please give him back.
Hey, before we get back to this episode of On the Case, one of the most watched shows on all of YouTube, I need to take a moment to talk about our partner and sponsor, Morgan & Morgan. This is America's largest injury law firm.
That's Morgan.
They've recovered over 25 times with us as he has been following this case from Southern California. You can see members of law enforcement in this drone video taking bags of evidence from around the property. Now, this couple in TV interviews, they appeared to be a unified front, sitting next to each other, calling for more to be done in hoping that their son could be found. But then last night, a very interesting development, because on the same day that you had Jake out searching with law enforcement, or at least standing there as they searched, again, they didn't find Emmanuel's body as they were searching in an area with Jake Haro. Rebecca yesterday did an interview with a reporter from the Southern California news group. And she, according to this interview, is not giving up her story. She said, quote, "I will not give up. I will not give up on my baby." She maintained that she is telling the truth, that she was assaulted and Emmanuel was kidnapped. The reporter did note that the black eye, it's still noticeable, but it has significantly faded under Rebecca's face. She also, it doesn't appear to have any other wounds. If she was to fall on the ground after getting punched, it seems that that small little black eye was the only injury that she had after this alleged assault.
Yeah, like
now, it's
you
unclear
have
if
like
Rebecca
kind of
has
like
had any communication
the head.
with her husband since her arrest. It's also unclear if she has a lawyer or any sort of representation. She is due in court tomorrow, as well as Jake. We do know that Jake has an attorney. His lawyer's name is Vincent Hughes. He went on News Nation and said his client is innocent, asked why more wasn't being done by law enforcement to search for a boy that his client said was kidnapped and missing. He said his client was cooperating with law enforcement. Here's more of what he said.
Why have Rebecca and Jake stopped cooperating with the police if they're desperate to find the baby and the police are looking for the baby?
I don't know where the statement that they stopped cooperating came from, Ashley. I spoke to the detectives yesterday, offered for Jake to continue to speak with them, have not been made aware of any request today to speak with Jake. I don't represent Rebecca. That needs to be very clear, but I have not been asked to produce Jake. I offered to produce Jake. They voluntarily turned over all of their electronic devices, including the passwords. I think that's something that's huge that nobody has been made aware of.
Now, that interview was prior to Jake's arrest. When his client was arrested, we reached out to Hughes' office. We spoke to an assistant who said that he would get back to us, and we have not heard back at the time of this recording. There are several major questions that remain unanswered right now in this story. The biggest ones, of course, where's Emmanuel? What happened to Emmanuel? But it's also unclear the last time anyone saw this boy. True crime blogger Annie Elise told News Nation that it's been at least a month, according to people who she has spoken with. It's also been reported that people didn't see Emmanuel at that football game that his mom claims they were at before she says she was assaulted. It's also been reported that the Haros were in the parking lot of that sporting goods store in Yucaipa weeks ahead of the night that Rebecca says she was attacked, and the couple allegedly asked employees of that sporting goods store where their security cameras were because at the time they were claiming their car had been broken into. Then you just have to wonder what Jake told detectives yesterday to bring him to that field. Was he just toying with them? Or does he truly know where Emmanuel's body is? And is he completely splitting from his wife's story that she was attacked? Now, while we're here talking about Jake, it's also important to talk about his history. In 2018, he was arrested for willful child cruelty. He was convicted of that in 2023, and he's currently on probation. And that has raised a lot of questions for prosecutors and how he was able to get that deal. The Daily Breeze media outlet has an affidavit from that case. It says that Haro's 10-week-old daughter was sent to the hospital with fractured ribs, just 10 weeks old. True crime blogger Abby Blabby spoke to the adoptive mom of that little girl who's now 7 years old. And the woman says the girl's blind. She can't speak, all because of what Jake Haro allegedly did. Haro also was expected in court next month for allegedly violating his probation on that case for having a firearm. Now, he is charged with murder, just like his wife, and both are due in court tomorrow on those charges in Riverside County, California, as the search for little Emmanuel continues. Joining us now once again is missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher, who has been following this case on the ground in Southern California. And Steve, right now you are where we see these images of Jake Haro yesterday with law enforcement. They weren't able to find Emmanuel here. What are you seeing out there right now?
Well, I haven't seen any search parties out here today. If they are, they're not in the immediate area. Right behind me is the area just over that ridge. I've been taking a look by drone. There's not anything going on in the area. It was really kind of a bizarre circumstance yesterday, with what happened.
What do you think? I mean, we can only know, only detectives at this point know what Jake Haro told them in custody that got him the opportunity to go out to this area. And there was this hope that this was, in a very sad case, potential that we could find Emmanuel's remains, and it didn't happen. I guess, what do you make of that? Because, at this point, Jake Haro is accused of being, he looked right into the camera as if that there was a kidnapping, so he's not someone to trust. But what do you make of the fact that nothing seems to have come of that whatsoever?
It's all right. It's not a regular thing for an inmate to be taken out of custody like that and be taken to a crime scene location. It's rare circumstances in cases where body's hard to find. I don't think they would bring him out here and really felt confident in the information, whatever information he was giving them. And that it's bizarre. And they didn't seem to spend a whole lot of time here either. They wrapped up fairly quick. You would think that if he was like, I know it was this general area, they would have left search and rescue out longer, or they would have left the canines out longer. We saw detectives searching out in the field for a while. I don't know. Maybe they weren't looking for some other type of evidence. Maybe it had been moved. Maybe there's a cell phone. Maybe there's something else. Although they did have, canines out. So it's really, it's strange. It seems like they gave up fairly quickly, or lost faith in his statements fairly quickly.
Steve, the next question is a pretty morbid question, but that's the direction that this story's taken now that it's a murder investigation. It's unclear when the last time anyone saw Emmanuel Haro. It's been speculated at least a month. Long before this alleged story of a kidnapping that his mom said outside the sporting goods store. Realistically speaking,
just call him Baby Manuel.
This is the morbid part of the question.
Don't use their last name.
What exactly could
that's the father's last name? Why are you going to use their last name?
Could law enforcement find when it comes to actually locating the remains of Emmanuel Haro?
Well, it's going to depend if he's above or below ground. So let's say he's above ground, which is what it looked like how they were looking yesterday. This is, we've been in a heat wave here, and this is already a hot part of Southern California. So 100-degree weather, if it's been a month, a small child, a decomp process will happen pretty quick. And then also this type of area, there's predators out here. There's coyotes, mountain lion. There's all types of stuff out here. So, and that we see in search and rescue all the time. Predators will spread remains and whatnot. However, cadaver canines can still pick up that scent, and so they would be able to find something, and from there kind of piece it together.
That was going to be my next question, just because I think for us on the outside, we probably take for granted how effective a dog can be in a search. I know the dogs were at the Harrow's home when they were looking for evidence there. I mean, how long ago could a body have been put somewhere and for a cadaver dog still to pick up on a scent?
Oh, cadaver dogs can pick up 100-year-old, so they train them on Civil War grave stuff. It's amazing what they can do. But, you know, the canine is just doing a task. It's playing a game, you know, it's really the handler has to be just as well trained as well, because if they're not picking up the detections from the canine, you know, it's a little different with cadaver dogs or HRD dogs. You know, if they don't just trail right to a location of a body. I mean, I've been on searches before where a person's been missing a long, long time, and that those cells, that scent that the canines are trained to pick up on, has actually gotten into the soil and grown up into tree roots, and so they'll hit on a tree. You have to backtrack, you know. So it really depends on the situation. But now it's something like this where we're talking about something that's been out here a month, it's going to be a lot easier. But I have also been on searches where, you know, canine handlers clearly have missed, you know, the signals. I you know, I think that happened in the Chris Watts case. I didn't really follow that case too closely, but I heard that was, you know, something that happened there.
We were talking before we started recording just a little bit about the jurisdictional aspects of how this is going to play out, because you know, tomorrow is when both of them are listed, according to online court records, to be in Riverside County, California, in court, but their court people could not confirm or deny whether or not that's actually going to happen. San Bernardino County is the agency that arrested the couple. They have been working the case since Rebecca Harrow claimed that she had been assaulted in the parking lot in Yucaipa. How could that come into play? Just with how you know the area and the jurisdictions and the lines and everything that's kind of playing out with this.
So this is something I've been wondering about, because so the way counties run, the I-10, which runs east-west, basically is the border of Riverside and San Bernardino County. So at the Big Five store in Yucaipa, that is in San Bernardino County. However, their home in Cabazon is in Riverside County. Now, if they've determined that was a fake kidnapping and everything really happened at the home or in Riverside County, it would be their jurisdiction. However, the arresting agency was San Bernardino, but they're being held in Riverside. So I don't know, unless they're going to do this as a multi-jurisdictional, or if they're still working out who exactly is going to prosecute this. I'm not sure, but it seems that it's the charges that were filed. It seems were filed by the Riverside County DA's office, but with San Bernardino being the arresting agency. So I'm not 100% sure. It's confusing.
Right. And it's interesting too, and I know we've talked about this, that it was Riverside County that dealt with the case involving Jake Harrow in his previous child cruelty case dating back to 2018. So and there's a lot of questions there about how that played out. As far as this case, still even, I mean, I think last night when you saw the images of Jake Harrow and you're thinking, oh my gosh, this is, you know, how this story potentially ends in terms of finding this boy and that they're coming clean on what actually happened. Then you have Rebecca talking to a newspaper reporter from jail, and she's sticking to the story. The fact that you see Jake out with detectives, though they didn't find anything, and then Rebecca still claiming that she was attacked, that the boy was kidnapped. What does that tell you about what's going on inside the jail and how detectives are handling this right now?
Well, they're doing what, you know, we had talked about last time. They're probably trying to do, which is create a division. I mean, they couldn't be more polar opposite. Literally, she's giving that interview at the same time that Jake is out here in a field with detectives. So he's rolling clearly. You know, you think he's rolling on her, probably not himself. And you know, I picked up the the affidavits in support of the arrest warrants from the 2018 case. And he did the same thing in there. The detective actually notes in the probable cause affidavit that came in a couple different times, came into the police station and said, I really couldn't imagine it at the beginning, but now I'm convinced it was, the baby's mother, and trying to lay down the story about how it was not him, it was the mother, and so, he's selling her out, and hey, maybe it's true. Who knows? I'm sure it's probably they both had a hand in it, but seems like the same thing here. Like Jake's trying to save himself. He's smart enough to know that taking them on a false field trip out here isn't going to help him one bit. So I think there's got to be something to this out here.
Right, because that's the thing is like if you're going to lead detectives out there and be like, oh, this is definitely where it happened, and then you don't find anything. And for them, to your point, I mean, they're not out there today. You would think if there was a credible lead that they would at least still be searching, but we haven't had any reports today that they're still looking around there, to at least our understanding. If they're in court tomorrow, it'll be interesting to see what comes out. And then to your point about the kind of the separation of the two, it even goes back to Jake having his own attorney, who I assume is giving him counsel. And then here's Rebecca talking to a local news reporter, still sticking, and they're on completely two different sides. So something it feels like it's heading that direction. This might be a difficult question to answer, but when you look at I just think of the area I see behind you, Steve, and I think of Rebecca and Jake Haro. I mean, can someone, even for as vast as the area is, I mean, I don't get the sense that they are avid outdoors people that could handle the terrain to be able to even bring, if gosh, they took young Emmanuel and then put him somewhere. Just from what we've seen about them, frankly, they just don't appear to be in great shape. And so it just seems like that limits where the body could actually be.
I think he, unfortunately, was probably either tossed from the vehicle, because there was like a irrigation, underpass, or they didn't go very far into that. I don't think they drove into the area because that gate, I think, is locked all the time, although it's private property. I get the same impression. I don't think he's going to be far off the road. That's why we didn't see search and rescue or detectives going too far up into those hills. They seem to be looking close to the bridge area.
Yeah, and however this story continues on, it's obviously just an incredibly sad story, and we'll see how all of it plays out. And if they're in court tomorrow, we'll continue to watch for that. Missing persons private investigator Steve Fisher, thank you for taking time to speak with us as you've been searching on your
poor baby. He suffered, and the parents, the mother, the father, what garbage, what garbage. That's garbage, man. Let's check out one more, and then I'll wrap it up for the night, because this one's about 18 minutes long. It's based out of this is Law and Crime Sidebar, and this is with Jesse Weber. So this is another disturbing. I believe it's out of California. I'm not 100% sure. But it's a chilling moment. Man allegedly drags dead wife caught on camera. Holy shit. What the world is coming to. I'm telling you, I'm rooting for the fucking asteroid, man. When I'm saying I'm rooting for the asteroid, it's like, listen, no offense to anyone, but we don't deserve to be here. We just don't. I mean, we just don't. And let's take a look at this another crazy story. This is just, I don't know. This is just weird.
For justice after the man suspected of killing a young mother allegedly took off with their children to another country. Now that case has jumped international borders. And what steps are police taking to make sure Shayla Gutierrez's alleged killer doesn't get away? I'm going to be sitting down with a California police officer who can offer unique insight into this case. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. The search for a missing mother of three in Southern California has come to a tragic end. 33-year-old mother of three, Shayla Gutierrez, sometimes known as Shayla Cabrera, was found dead in the Angeles National Forest days after friends reported her missing. But this is a case that is far from over. Why? Because authorities are trying to track down their prime suspect, her husband, 36-year-old Josemar Cabrera. Now, Shayla Cabrera and their three sons had emigrated to the United States in 2023 from Peru. This is according to Shayla's family, hoping for a fresh start, a better life than they had in their home country. But that dream apparently turned into a nightmare, as Shayla's loved ones allege that domestic violence in the couple's relationship continued in the United States. Authorities believe that Shayla died on August 10th at an apartment in Lancaster. She was reported missing 2 days later, and police immediately noticed several suspicious and disturbing pieces of information. What am I talking about? August 13th. Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies said they found footage from a nearby Ring camera that apparently showed Cabrera dragging something heavy in a large piece of cloth away from the apartment complex. That video was recorded on August 10th at around 4 a.m., according to NBC4 Los Angeles. Obviously, that raised a lot of red flags. Then, when authorities discovered that not only Cabrera was nowhere to be found, but that his three sons were also missing, alarm bells went off. The children were logged into the missing persons system at that point. This is according to the Los Angeles Times. Saturday, August 16th, search and rescue teams, they find Shayla's body wrapped up in material very similar to what we saw on that Ring camera footage, apparently dumped over the side of an embankment. According to reporting from the LA Times, the medical examiner hasn't determined a cause of death yet, but we can get an idea of what happened based on the charge that was filed against Cabrera in a new extradition warrant, one count of murder with allegations that he used a knife as a deadly weapon. Now, Shayla's family has revealed more details about what was apparently happening behind the scenes that may have motivated this alleged brutal attack, because according to Shayla's mom, there had been reports of domestic violence in this house. Now, she spoke with outlet Latina Noticias, saying, she told me that Josemar Cabrera Cornejo hit her, mistreated her, and even slapped my youngest grandchild, who is 3 years old. I called my daughter, but she didn't answer. I spoke to Josemar on Sunday, and he told me that immigration had taken my daughter. Yeah, that's right. So Cabrera reportedly told Helga that her daughter had gone to an immigration appointment and had been detained. But Helga was suspicious, not only because the immigration office isn't open on Sundays, but because of a conversation that she'd had with Shayla just one day before. Helga told the same outlet, she told me that he abused them, hit them. I found out that he had slapped the baby when he was younger. She told me, Mom, I can't take it anymore. I'm going to file a complaint today, Saturday. Now, according to Helga, Cabrera was in the room when they were talking and got angry. Quote, he didn't say anything, but looked at her with a fierce expression. Later, I heard him say, don't file a complaint, you'll hurt me. Now, Helga again told this outlet that she spoke with Shayla one more time on a video call, but never saw her alive again. And according to Shayla's sister, per reporting from ABC7, Cabrera kept changing his story about what happened to his wife. After saying ICE detained her, he then said she left with another man. Then in a third story, apparently said she'd had some kind of accident. It's believed that Cabrera took off with the three children to Peru. And video from the airport in Lima, Peru had spread like wildfire on social media, and it shows someone following after a man believed to be Cabrera, who's being escorted outside by Lima police. According to outlet Univision, Cabrera was arrested on August 16th, the same day that Shayla's body would be found, but apparently was released because there wasn't yet a warrant for his extradition. According to the LA County Sheriff's Department, the three children were found safe. They were taken into protective custody before being released to Shayla's family in Peru. So as we're talking the law here, let me call out real quick an expert on the law, the legal sponsor who helped us make this episode happen, Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. This is a firm with over 1,000 attorneys. You know why they have so many? Because they win a lot. They have recovered. Violence creates chaos in our communities and shatters families. My office is committed to bringing stability back into the lives of those who have been victimized. According to the DA, Cabrera could face 26 years to life in prison if convicted. Okay, so I want to talk about this further, and I want to bring back on someone here on Sidebar who is an excellent voice when it comes to these kinds of investigations. We're joined by Kyle Schoberg, who is a California police sergeant and co-instructor of the Patrol Survival Tactics Seminar and host of the Shots Fired Show podcast. Kyle, thank you so much for coming on. Really appreciate you taking the time. You know, one of the things that we talk about a lot when you come on is what happens in a domestic violence situation, in a domestic relationship. And when a person decides to leave their partner, that can sometimes, right, be the highest risk of violence and someone being a target of violence. I mean, how common is it in your experience of seeing a domestic violence situation or a domestic situation turning deadly?
Yeah, first, thanks for having me, Jesse. It is very common, unfortunately, and that's why there's so many programs and advocate programs out there to help victims get out of domestic violence situations. They are one of the most volatile calls and situations that we deal with in law enforcement. And so you're talking about people's emotions getting brought into this. And so that's why we unfortunately see cases like this happen quite frequently.
What would you tell someone who's looking to escape a situation like this? And what is the role of police? How much can they actually do?
Well, first, I would say if you're a victim of domestic violence, go out and speak to somebody that you can confide with. And if it rises to the level of, someone's placing their hands on you, you need to contact police and get the ball rolling for that. I mean, the laws around domestic violence are very strict. Most of the time in most states, there are always going to be a mandated arrest. Now, if you do go that route, obviously we as in law enforcement encourage victims to seek out restraining orders and do whatever we can do to help them get away from their abuser. Now, when you talk about domestic violence, it's not always physical. A lot of times you're dealing with emotional domestic violence. And so that too can be very traumatizing for victims. And most of the times in my career, 19 years in law enforcement, when you do talk to victims of domestic violence, a lot of the times this has been going on for a long period of time, and they're just too afraid to speak out or say anything to anybody.
It's very true. Unfortunately, that's very true. I want to talk a little bit more about this investigation per se. So you have something that started as a missing persons report. Then the homicide team was called in when foul play was suspected. Let's stop right there. What are investigators on the lookout when they're determining the direction of a case, how it's going to go? Because again, I can't say that's surprising. Sometimes when you have a missing persons case, it can then turn into a homicide investigation. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, I think it depends on what the missing persons case is. In this particular case, you have a mom of 3 children who's married to this guy. She's all of a sudden vanished. Clearly, that's not normal. And I think when you receive a report like that, the investigators are going to dive really deep into that and figure out what happened to her. Has she disappeared before? Is this something that's typical? And if the answer is no, then something potentially bad has potentially happened to her. And so I think in this case, the investigators dove into this, started reviewing video surveillance tapes, and unfortunately, you see what you see in the video of the husband dragging this sheet with clearly something large wrapped up in it through the apartment complex. And in the law enforcement world, that's what we call a clue. And that is when you see that, nothing good is going to come from that. And so I think once they saw that from there, it's okay. Now they need to try to figure out where exactly is she, and then where's the husband.
One of the complicating factors of this is the Angeles National Forest. It is huge, right? It's more than 700,000 acres. You have multiple spots that are designated as wilderness areas. How do you even know where to start a search in an area like that, by the way?
Yeah, I figured you're going to ask me that. And I think what it boils down to, and what most people don't understand, is how involved technology is in law enforcement. I mean, it's very easy to figure out, okay, we now have a timestamp of when he drug her body out to more than likely his vehicle, plugging his vehicle into license plate readers. There's cameras everywhere in cities nowadays, entrances and exits of parks, public places. And it's not difficult to track somebody's movement utilizing technology. And so if I had to guess, I would say they did that. They tracked him all the way to this national park, wherever he entered this park, and started their search from there, and using probably dogs that trained to sniff for cadavers, even humans that are still alive, massive search teams that are set up strategically. So if I were a betting man, I would guess that that's what led them there.
Is it put a danger on law enforcement searching certain areas? I mean, I always wonder if that's a consideration of killers or suspected killers about placing a body in a place where it would be tough for law enforcement to search.
Yeah, I mean, those are always, things that could come up. I think hazardous situations, but we have so many tools and resources that we can use as law enforcement to either go track somebody down or retrieve a body if it was in a hazardous area.
There's another complicating factor too. You got a suspect fleeing to another country. When that happens, what do you do? Does that throw just a huge wrench into an investigation? Is it a stumbling block? How difficult is that? Because there's one thing trying to track somebody in the United States, in a state, trying to see if they went to across state lines. Going to another country, that I wonder how complicated that is.
Yeah, it can be very complicated depending on what country it is. Here, he's fled to Peru in South America, and so I don't know that it would be necessarily a roadblock. Is it a lot of extra work? Yes, it is. You have to start securing warrants to be able to send federal agents into Peru, have Peru detain this individual, and then be able to extradite him back to the United States. And so it sounds like that process has already been worked on or dealt with in this particular case. But in reading this article, it says they asked police in Peru to detain him, and they would not do it because there was no warrant. It's just going to require a lot of extra steps.
Just to put a finer point on that, if you look at the timeline here, so Shayla is believed to have died on August 10th. Friends reported her missing on August 12th. August 13th, deputies review that very creepy surveillance video. They find Shayla's body on August 16th. And at this point, Cabrera is reportedly arriving in Peru with his children. What exactly do authorities need? What evidence do they need to file an arrest or extradition warrant? Do they have to always have a body? I mean, do you know what the complicating factors could be in order to get someone back?
Yeah, so a lot of times during a homicide investigation, investigators would actually, it boils down to the district attorney's office would like that body to be able to prove this to a jury beyond a reasonable doubt that that person is no longer alive, right? So there have been cases where people do want to disappear on their own and not be found. So they have to prove that that's not what's happened here. And so regarding that would be a circumstantial case, right? You would have to have enough evidence to show that you believe this person is no longer alive. In this case, they have a body. And so all they need to prove is he is tied to this homicide. That is very damaging video evidence against him. And then days after her death, he's fleeing to Peru with his kids. And so that's enough to be able to prove. I'm sure they have an abundance of evidence they found in the house and in talking with family members. I mean, it's a long list of things that they would need.
Can we talk about that for a second? So obviously from a legal point of view, me being the attorney, I'm looking at this and saying they have more than enough to go forward with, charges and a trial. Look, even though innocent until proven guilty, I have to tell you, how many times have we talked about cases or we've seen cases where it's like, is there no recognition that whether you Google something, right, or you get caught on surveillance tape, like the idea is, do you not think about that? I mean, is this the idea of it's a panic situation and they're not thinking clearly, but the amount of evidence that is potentially left behind for prosecutors to use against a suspect here, what could be an innocent explanation for that video? I'm struggling to come up with one. I will tell you, I've seen cases before where somebody will say, I didn't kill this person. I either found them dead, they overdosed, there was a fight, it was self-defense. I did clean up the body. I did try to get rid of evidence. You can convict me of that, but I didn't actually murder that person. Aside from that, it just, to me, from an investigative point of view, are you ever surprised how much digital evidence is left behind of a crime?
Oh, all the time. I mean, most of the crimes we investigate, you look back and you just think, really? I mean, in today's day and age, just with your cell phone alone, I mean, there's so much digital evidence in just your phone. And so now you're talking about security footage or all the cameras and technology that's out there. You can't explain that. And I think in a case like this, I would venture to believe that this was a panic situation for him, maybe a heat of the moment crime, and he has to get rid of this body. And clearly he is not even thinking about leaving that digital footprint because he's on camera dragging her body clear as day. I'm sure he knows those cameras are there. So I'm sure that's why he took his quick trip to Peru.
What do you make of Cabrera's alleged multiple stories about what happened to Shayla? If a suspect lies multiple times, how do investigators know when they're actually being honest about something?
Yeah, that's a great point. In today's world, when you're investigating let's say a homicide, right? Necessarily, we don't want the perpetrator or the suspect to even tell us the truth, right? We want to know if they're a truth teller or a liar. And so when you're sitting somebody down and you're interviewing them, you want them to just share their story. Now, you already know, based on the evidence that you've collected, what the story more than likely is. And so when you sit somebody down, you ask them what happened, they're going to spew their guts out if they decide to talk. And based on what they say, you can circle back and say, okay, well, what about this based on this video footage that we have of you? Now, that person's either going to go down the rabbit hole of lying again or telling the truth. And so when you go to court, it's easy to prove that, hey, look, this person's lying. Why are they lying? Here's the evidence to show that that's clearly not what happened. And so doesn't necessarily come down to, we need somebody to confess to a crime like that. We just need to be able to show, are you telling the truth or are you lying?
By the way, Kyle, before we got on, you had mentioned something to me about there's something for people, aside from how horrible this case is, there's something important for people to remember about it, something to take away from it. What is that?
I look at this case and my biggest takeaway is if you have a family member or a friend who you have not seen or been in contact with for a period of time that's out of the ordinary, you need to report that person missing immediately. Don't wait 24, 48 hours, whatever you see in the movies that tells you that that's how long you have to wait. You can report somebody missing immediately, and law enforcement are mandated to take that report. And they are required to start looking into it for every missing persons case. So my best advice is just that. If something's not right, report it to the police immediately.
And I will say this, if you find yourself in a dangerous situation at home, we want to make sure that you know that there are resources out there that can help you. You can call the National Domestic Violence Line for free, confidential, at 1-800-799-SAFE. That's 1-800-799-7233. And it's available 24 hours in English and Spanish. Kyle Schoberg, thank you so much for taking the time. It was good seeing you.
Thank you, Jesse. I appreciate you guys.
And that is all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. And as always, please subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Jesse Weber.
Go check it out because they do a lot of investigations, line crime. Good show, for sure. Let's check out Melody King. I want to check on Melody King. Might as well, because I want to see what Tyson puts up tonight. So this will take us right into Tyson, and we could finish off the show with Tyson De La Cruz. So, all right, let's go ahead and watch this.
What you're about to see will infuriate you. ICE agents, yes, the very people keeping our borders and communities safe, well, they're swarmed, screamed at, and smeared by a mob of leftist crybabies. These people don't want law and order. No. They want chaos. And you're about to see exactly how unhinged it gets right here, right now.
All right, okay. There's no room. All right. All right, listen. You're hurting her. City Council. You have a baby. Stop. Give me my glasses. You're hurting her. Would you stop this? Listen, would you stop it? Listen. Stop. Take her. You're hurting her. Arresting a mom 2 years ago.
An innocent woman. You do not show any warrants. Get out of our neighborhood. Get out of our neighborhood.
Oh yeah, right here, guys. Right here. Stop right there. Stop. They'll explain.
No, you do not have a judicial warrant.
Stop.
You stop.
You're supporting them. I'm not supporting anybody. I'm not supporting. They have the jurisdiction. They have not shown any jurisdiction. Okay? They shown zero paperwork.
These people are fucking crazy. What the hell's going on here?
You do not need to get the warrant for this arrest.
Oh my
You
goodness.
gotta step away from the vehicle.
It's like, all Karens, unite!
Ma'am, you gotta step away from
All
the vehicle.
Karens, formulate!
You gotta step away from the vehicle. We'll work it out. We'll work it out. You guys got information. How are you going to work out a warrant license? Come on. Come on, Dad. How are you going to work out a warrant license?
What the hell is going on here?
Oh, here we go. Instant meltdown. ICE moves in and suddenly every protester thinks they're a Supreme Court justice. Where's the warrant? You're hurting her. No. What's hurt are decades of Democrats refusing to enforce the law. ICE doesn't owe Karen with an iPhone a PowerPoint presentation. Their job is to enforce immigration law. Period. But of course, as always, the mob isn't done. Just watch how louder and honestly dumber it gets.
The hell?
Guys,
You're hitting him.
Step back. You gotta step back. You gotta step back.
He hit him.
Yeah, we got pause time.
What's he doing? What's he doing?
Guys, you gotta step away from
Arrested? Why they're not arresting these people? You're hurting her. What the hell?
He's hurting her. You have a duty to
He's hurting her.
He's hurt her. He's
Oh
hurting her.
goodness.
He's
Hurt her.
You need to tell him.
All Karens, formulate. All Karens, transform.
Hands off her. Right.
Get her hands off of her. But I'm gonna stand here.
Joe.
What the hell is going on here?
Joe. Joe.
It's an instant protest.
Move that car out of there.
Don't take the mother. What the hell?
I know this is hard for you, but you can do something to bring it to an end.
He needs to back
You don't have
up.
to facilitate this. You don't. At this point, you're facilitating this.
What's he doing? What's this girl doing?
You see how they're treating people. They're hurting people.
You're hurting her. You're hurting that one now. Now this one you're hurting. This one's here. You're hurting her now.
Out of the way, guys. Out of the way.
Hold on. I'm here to report. I'm here to report that you're hurting her. You're hurting her even more now. Wait, I'm gonna record this. Karen, unite. I'm taking video. I'm taking pictures and I'm taking video.
You gotta get out of the way. Let's go.
All these people are just blocking the way. What's going on here? What is going on here?
You do. This guy.
I'm not high enough.
Everybody.
All right, hold on. We need a. First of all, this is overwhelming. We need a temporary timeout. Timeout. I have anxiety, okay? And when I see things like this, it's too much for me. And I don't know about you guys, but for me, it overwhelms me because I'm like, what the fuck these people are doing? And like, instant protests, formulate, Karen, attack. It's like, what is going on? It's like super Karen. Like, I can see all the super Karens getting together. That's crazy. Karens, unite. Karens, show your might. That's a weird. We're living in weird town, like weird times for sure. We're living in fucking crazy times. We have Karens formulating. You thought you had to be worried about one Karen. Boo. Now you got to worry about a whole mob of Karens. A whole mob of Karens going crazy. Yeah. All right, let's continue with Meg.
All right, we're gonna slow it down. Back up. I'm just asking you to step away from the car. That's all I'm asking you. Thank you. Please just.
Classic leftist theater. Don't take our mother. Please. Actions have consequences. Break the law. ICE enforces it. That's the end of the story. But the mob, well, they want to flip it into a sob story. The only shame here, though, is people thinking feelings override the actual law. ICE agents don't need permission from a crying mom. And when screaming doesn't work, you know what comes next. The ugliest smear they can think of.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, please.
Super Karen? Well, senior, formulate. Karens to the front.
You can stop this.
You can't stop this.
The way they're treating people.
This is democracy.
File a report how they're treating people.
This is democracy.
You can document their names.
Document the names.
But you can
Get warrants. Where's your warrant? Okay, you're hurting my arm now.
Don't push.
Don't touch me.
No, we're
Don't touch me. You're hurting me now. This girl with a checkered shirt. What the hell is wrong with her?
Stop pushing.
You're gonna start arresting these people.
You see how they're treating people. You need to put that in your report. I will. You need to write that they're grabbing women by their breasts, sexually assaulting people.
Grabbing them by the breasts.
I'm talking. We're moving the vehicle. I'm talking to him. That's fine. Talk over there.
The guy was like, he's grabbing them by the breasts. How about this one? Are they grabbing the blue shirt? Oh, the girl's back again. Look at her. She's back on the car again.
You're endangering a child.
Oh, she has a child on her arm. She's endangering the child. They could take the child away.
Hold on, Joe. Keep the road clear. Yeah.
Did you sign up to help ICE just like you signed up to help the constable?
It's ICE. They're taking them on, and everybody's freaking out about it. But they have the jurisdiction. We're trying to get them out of here. Now people are just standing in front of the car. Which way? They want to go this way. You want to go that way? All right, let's have them go that way. It's going to turn into arresting people.
Big copy. 2 minutes. Start arresting. Start arresting.
Hey, folks, I'm ICE. You don't like back up. Where's the warrant? Back up.
Get the warrant.
I am over there. Where's the warrant?
Then the guy in the red with professional little camera.
Where's the warrant?
Stop touching my breast. Where's the warrant? Is the girl with the black and white there with the baby?
Listen. Let's go.
What's wrong with her? They don't need to arrest that girl.
Here we go. The nuclear option. When logic fails, scream sexual assault. No evidence, no proof, just throw mud and hope that it sticks. It's insulting to actual victims, but it's the left's favorite weapon, fake outrage. It's honestly desperation, plain and simple. And they'll do it every time to slander law enforcement. And when that doesn't land, well, they move to the next tantrum, demanding answers that they just aren't owed.
Move out of the way. Move out of the way. You guys are holding me outside. They're leaving. All right. You're gonna get stay out of the way.
That girl's back again? Look, she's back again. They're gonna arrest her. They're gonna arrest her. Oh, that girl again? Why did that lady keep coming back? They need to arrest her ass too. Now they're gonna protest this too? Save her now! Save her now! That's what? You're going to jail, honey bunny. You should have just went back home. So now you're going to jail. Here comes the other Karen.
Stay back. Stay back. Please, back back.
Super Karen. Stand back.
Make sure that we're priority. Get them up there ASAP.
I'm not surprised I'm not hearing. You guys are fascists. You work for us. You're fascists. You're working for the fascists now. Like, is it a black party? Is there a black party going on here? What's happening here? Oh, Karen, tonight again. 1-3.
Why is she under
Oh,
arrest?
this guy again?
Hey, get back. Why is she under arrest?
This guy again?
Why is she under arrest?
What the hell is wrong with that guy? He's popping up.
Like, I think they're going to the TV. Just can we check with that?
Start arresting people. Oh, they arrested her. Bye, girl. Make it scream in jail. And throw yourself in jail if you want.
Charlie 4 on.
Girl, bye. Next. I'm waiting for the guy with the green shirt to pop out. Where is he?
Yeah. Adam, you able to go to 4? Going up.
Oh, they got a paddy wagon?
You gotta laugh at this one. Why is she under arrest? Because she broke the law. You're not part of the case. You're not her lawyer. You're just there blocking the street. ICE doesn't need to hold a press conference every time they detain someone. The left actually thinks that Shouting over law enforcement somehow makes them in charge. Sorry. No, that's not how it works. And then if this circus wasn't just embarrassing enough, one of their leaders shows up.
All right, they're good.
I know. We're not going to get back involved in that.
Seriously. Go ahead. Any officers coming to Eureka Street,
We're not going down
from the Stafford Street side. Keep it clear. Do not obstruct the road, please.
Precinct Such, also EA's requesting, is that how you want them to come in too from Stafford?
Yes, please. 11, do we have the arrestees already secure? We can clear out again. Bring in our attention.
Pretty crazy. Huh?
Where are they going?
I think we're just going down to Stafford. Get away from the noise.
Seriously, just make sure those wagons, please, come in Stafford Street side. We're going to meet them closer to Stafford.
We'll both live in our own level.
Wagons, your copy, man. Wagon on wagon.
Oh, Super Karen there, taking pictures. Take your videos and pictures. I'm gonna report you.
If anybody's free.
Uh-oh.
Stafford, Eureka.
Okay.
A lot of people trying to gather as far as cars go.
And I was wagging my finger as if I'm a piece of garbage. I have a right to be here. I'm the city councilor.
We're on the way, Tim.
City councilor.
I got it, thank you.
Okay, but that was no reason why that woman was banged on the floor.
Wow.
Would you
They
agree?
called everybody.
She wasn't on the ground. She didn't get there by herself, sir.
Jose Lugo, you on?
She was put there for no reason.
Yeah, I'm on.
Oh, the green shirt guy.
Hey, can we just
He popped
keep
out.
guys up there with those cars?
I knew we were gonna see him again.
That's what I'm doing. I'm actually trying to move until we get traffic out here.
Super Karens.
Okay, I got a couple guys coming
Unite. Formulate. Karen attack.
Okay, so I will be here for the duration.
Release Super Karen. Super Karen, you are needed to the front.
We all have body cams. We're not. We don't.
Now,
we don't support.
unite and attack at the same time.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right, I know you're a little busy. The OIC for ICE, I have a phone number he'd like you to call.
I'll get in a second. I have one of the numbers already. I'll just tell them to do a minute.
Absolutely, thank you.
Is that a bullet con? Guys, is there a chance we'll need another wagon?
Everyone's staying here.
I don't think so. Is he?
Is there more to go? Because it's pretty long. Explain to every Karen. They need to go home. Police officers.
We're going to be off at
Explain to recording Karen with the green shirt again.
Here. The ICE agents are leaving. We're leaving. It is what it is. Okay.
Okay, but there's people walking on this side. I'm not going to do this because the officer asked me not to walk on this side. So I just asked him if it's okay to walk on this side with other people. Other people are walking that way.
Yeah.
Professional. It's a professional.
We got to get the hell out of here.
Journalist there.
Yeah. As soon as they get in the wagon, everybody get out.
One person under arrest waiting for the wagon. We still have them in the car.
Are the Karens still uniting? What's going on?
I think we have two in custody. Okay, is she being cooperative? Looks like someone right now.
What are the chances we see the green shirt guy again? What are the chances we see the green shirt guy again? Do we have like a 50-50 chance?
I think the wagon is coming down.
We're not here to spread anything. As soon as they get in the wagon, well.
Yeah. Yeah, that way I got to put it down her.
What are the chances?
I think they just jumped in the van
Shirt
left.
guy. What are the chances we see the green shirt guy? See, I even made a song for him, a little jingle. Karens, I am very disappointed in you guys. You guys weren't quick enough.
Good.
We need to arrive faster.
Sarge, I don't want to. I know you're busy.
Next
You have a
time,
second.
run all red lights.
Go ahead.
Don't stop at stop signs. Make it to the destination as fast as possible. And formulate.
What's up? Oh, what's up, Mike? How are you? Nice thing. When are you coming back? How's your leg? Is it good? I don't even know where I parked.
What's going on? Terrence, we are disappointed in you guys. You should have been there faster. I didn't get here to hear you get louder.
As soon as I get loaded up, everybody's gone.
Yeah. Why are you trying to get in my car?
Where did I park?
Response time could be faster, Karens.
No, I'm right here.
Services is on. Good.
I think that's it. But yeah, towards the end.
Services is on. Go ahead.
All right, so that's basically the end of it because that's towards the end. So, Karens, formulate. Get ready, Karen. We got a direction to go. We got the address. Let's show up. They weren't fast enough. They weren't fast enough to get to the scene. And then the Karens, they weren't loud enough. They weren't crazy enough. Like, what's going on? If you know you are in this country illegally, you need to get out. Self-deport. They'll give you a freaking check. They'll give you money, actually, like $1,000, I believe, a head. So if it's 6 of you leaving together, that's $6,000. If it's 10 of you guys, a family of 10 that's leaving together, that's $10,000. That's a good down payment for a house that could house the whole family of 10, you know? So what's going to happen? You know, this, I believe the self-deport, it'll be very helpful. And if they want to come back, then they can come through the proper channels. You know, I know Kamala Harris is the main problem because of this. And the reason why I say this, because she had meetings with these countries in South America, from Peru to all the countries in South America, and letting them know that they're going soft on the border and that they encourage them to migrate up. And I know she did that. I prove me wrong. I feel my energy and it's telling me she sabotaged us at the border. She was the so-called border czar that wasn't. And the fact that people were just running through the border and coming right through the border with so many gotaways, it's just ridiculous. The amount of people that came into this country. Now we're stuck with the problem right now, and we have all these people, the super Karens, coming out. Karens, formulate. Get your Karen voice up. Ah! Like, I don't know what's going on with this world. This is just a weird time to be living in. That's for damn sure. We're living in very unique times. while ICE is trying to do their job and get the illegals out, we have citizens blocking and demanding warrants and demanding paperwork and demanding, like, they all of a sudden turn into attorneys. They all of a sudden turn into attorneys. All the Karens you will get, like, you will turn into lawyers. So no, you're right. Now I am a super Karen. All super Karens to the front. Like, it's crazy. We're living in unique times, man. Very unique times. Let me see if Tyson came out with anything yet, because I was waiting for him. It's around that time that his video should be popping up. So let me check his channel. I don't get notifications anymore. No, not yet. I wonder, it's going to be any minute now. I was like, man, any minute. Hopefully the phone would let me know, because my phone is tied in. I don't know why my computer for some reason is not, but I don't know what is this is about. About a seagull? I don't know. We're gonna check that out, and then hopefully Tyson will come on. We'll see another news cycle for the baby. We can do that while we wait for Tyson to have a video, because he uploads time, so we could stall out until it comes up, and then do we want to see the double down? Yeah, we could see the double down on the baby. That's crazy. That's so crazy. But we are going to see a couple of videos here. So that one's already done. This one's done. This one, we're going to stop it. And now we're going to resize all of them. So that way it'll look nice and big. It takes a moment. I did open up like 3 videos. And this is just stalling. So let's go ahead first with, I'll leave the baby manual for later. Let's go ahead and check this one out.
Seagulls are a staple on Maine's beaches this time of year, and if you're not careful, you might lose your lunch.
In Connecticut, a pesky seagull has become famous for taking food right out of people's hands. Melissa Cooney reports.
Not give up. As long as he puts his mind to it, he can eat anything on the beach at this point.
There's a thief flying around Waterford Beach Park.
The seagull came, flew that way, took the cookie.
He has a yellow beak, beady eyes, and the determination of someone who hasn't eaten in years.
That I'm eating my cookie under my cover up because it will steal my cookie.
But really, it's obvious he hasn't missed a meal in a while.
And you can tell because he's the fattest around.
This is Cecil, the seagull by the seashore. He takes food and no prisoners.
I could feel his wings too. It was like so close. We've had incidents of him like landing on people's head and taking food out of their mouths.
His favorite foods?
Oh, he's a big
Not
fan of
as
carbs.
much.
Yeah.
He also likes the finer things, like a king crab leg.
The seagull completely devoured it in one go, and it stuck out on both sides of the neck.
And beggars can't be choosers, but Cecil does have his preferences.
No pickles, no cucumbers.
He's making a name for himself on the beach.
You got to watch out. Cecil steals food.
The town putting up these signs warning people to keep an eye out for Cecil and his cronies.
He swoops right in, takes food right out of people's hands, takes your fingers with him.
And no kidding.
Oh,
Some
wow.
Cecil survivors let us share these photos. The lifeguards tell
goodness.
us they've been busy with Band-Aids this summer.
We did speak with animal control, and the reality is It's a wild animal. It's causing no true harm. So there's not much we can do but laugh along with him.
Unfortunately, Cecil ignored our request for comment. Sir, please. Cecil.
Look at him dodging the cameras.
That would be the cutest kids book. Cecil steals food, and a lesson on sharing, maybe, or being kind to your neighbor.
That's wild. Okay, let's go to the baby Emmanuel.
He's a 7-month-old Emmanuel Otto. His parents remain in jail, arrested for his murder this week, and his father here in the red jumpsuit was seen out with investigators. NBC4's Karma Dickerson live near the family's home in Cabazon with an update now on the search. Karma?
Hi there behind me. You can see how the community has really responded to this news that little baby is now presumed dead. He has not yet been found, but in just the last week, the memorial, the outpouring of support for him has really just grown exponentially, with so many people in the community asking that one central question: where is baby Emmanuel? The search for now presumed dead baby Emmanuel Haro spans across county lines. This weekend, authorities searched for him along the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley, accompanied by cadaver dogs, and in a bright orange jumpsuit, Jake Haro, the baby's father.
Experience when somebody is being let out and being escorted to a particular area to look for a body who has been unaccounted for and they believe is a victim of a murder, that tells me that the person is sharing enough information.
It has been 11 days since Emmanuel Haro's parents say he was kidnapped from the Big Five store in Yucaipa. Shortly thereafter, investigators with the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department say his mother stopped cooperating. Moses Castillo is a former LAPD detective with 20 years of experience investigating crimes against children. He's not a part of this case, but weighed in on where he thinks the investigation will likely go from here.
You're going to see a more thorough search, a more methodical search by the coroner's office and the detectives, and they're going to have all hands on deck, and they're going to scour that area square by square to make sure they don't miss anything.
Last week, the baby's parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, were arrested on suspicion of murder. However, they have not yet been charged. Both Riverside and San Bernardino County District Attorney's offices are currently evaluating this case.
The fact charges have not yet been filed could be a result of the fact that the authorities aren't sure which county is the proper place to file, or it could be that they're still working up the case. They have suspicions, but do they have enough evidence to really support criminal charges?
And we have spoken with the district attorneys in both San Bernardino and Riverside County's offices. And essentially, San Bernardino tells us it's looking more and more like this is going to be a Riverside case. In speaking with the Riverside County District Attorney's office, they have to make a charging decision by tomorrow. That's based on the amount of time the Haros have been under arrest. And so they say they're still working through information to be able to do that. Reporting live, I'm Karma Dickerson, NBC4 News.
That's wild.
New developments tonight in the search for a missing baby in the Inland Empire. We now know his mother, who is currently in jail on suspicion of murder, maintains her child was kidnapped. Fox 11's Nick Garcia is live in downtown Riverside with what could be next in this investigation. Nick?
All right, Susan, good evening. Well, Rebecca Haro is behind bars in that jail here in Riverside right now. The Riverside District Attorney's Office says a decision on filing has not been made yet, but we know that Rebecca and Jake Haro both face that count of murder. If those charges are filed, they could appear in court here tomorrow. It's a case that has captured national attention, the disappearance of infant Emmanuel Haro. Last week, his parents, Jake and Rebecca Haro, were arrested for murder. Now Rebecca is speaking out from jail. She spoke with the Southern California News Group, insisting her baby was kidnapped, saying, quote, "I want to be out looking for my baby." She also spoke about her husband, saying, quote, "He's a good dad. He would never hurt a baby." That jailhouse interview happened Sunday, the same day Jake Haro, seen here in an orange jumpsuit, was brought by San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputies to help look for Emmanuel's body near the 60 freeway in Moreno Valley. The body was not found, but detectives do believe the baby is dead. Sunday night, a growing memorial outside the Haro home in Cabazon.
Beautiful that baby Emmanuel gets the support. It's very unfortunate that, he wasn't able to get it while he was still here.
Concerned community members have gathered several times since baby Emmanuel's disappearance, hoping he will be found. As of Monday afternoon, the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department has not located the boy's body. Certainly the question on everyone's mind, where is baby Emmanuel? Again, if those charges are filed, we're keeping a close eye on it. If they're filed, they do expect to see them appear in court here in Riverside tomorrow. In the meantime, though, both Jake and Rebecca Haro are being held without bail. Live in downtown Riverside, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
All right.
That's crazy. That's just crazy. I don't know. It's just the outcome of that. It's going to be just a wild, really wild story. It's going to be something it's just going to be too wild it's just going to be too wild. I've been checking on the Tyson. No video yet. I guess he did an early entry and he's not doing a second one. But I do have a short that we can watch, so of Tyson's, so that'll kind of count. So let's go ahead and watch it together because it's about actually my state of Connecticut. So that's interesting. Let's listen in together, and then I'll wrap up the show because I'm really tired. So here we go. Go ahead and play it.
Targeting immigrants here illegally with ties to organized crime and other offenses. These are some of the pictures provided by ICE of their operation. Of the 65 arrests, ICE says 29 people had been convicted or charged with a crime in the U.S. ICE also sent out mugshots for 13 people they deemed the worst of the worst. Some of the crimes ICE says they've committed include kidnapping, assault, sex crimes, and drug offenses.
The operation was specifically called Broken Trust. This was a direct reference to Connecticut's Trust Act, which limits cooperation between local law enforcement and ICE. This was federal agents sending a clear message about sanctuary policies that protect criminals.
But this release put out by ICE did have some political overtones.
Government can choose to do what they want to do, but me and mine, we will be standing for the people of Connecticut, regardless of their immigration status, regardless of their race, their religion, their creed.
The rest were identified as gang members or had criminal history in their home countries. These weren't people who just overstayed their visas. These were dangerous criminals on the streets of Connecticut.
And here at the scene right now of a protest, protesting what the feds called Operation Broken Trust. That name, Broken Trust, invokes the name of the Connecticut state law, the Trust Act, which limits cooperation between local and state cops and ICE.
ICE was particularly active in Dunbury, where they arrested multiple convicted sex offenders and violent criminals. Among those nabbed in Dunbury was a man convicted of drug charges, harassment, carrying prohibited weapons, cruelty towards a child, and obscene communication. In Stamford, they arrested a man with convictions for robbery, assault, and breach of peace. These are violent criminals walking around Connecticut communities, potentially near schools and families.
According to ICE, 65 undocumented immigrants were apprehended who either have serious crime charges in the U.S., are part of a transnational gang, or have crime charges in their home country.
ICE specifically targeted people with serious criminal charges in the United States. Transnational gang members are those with criminal charges in their home country. The youngest was 19 from Guatemala. The oldest was 51 from Peru. The others came from countries like India, Ecuador, and El Salvador.
Operation was targeting immigrants here illegally with ties to organized crime and other offenses. These are some of the pictures provided by ICE of their operation. Of the 65 arrests, ICE says 29 people had been convicted or charged with a crime in the U.S. ICE also sent out mugshots for 13 people they deemed the worst of the worst. Some of the crimes ICE says they've committed include kidnapping, assault, sex crimes, and
Connecticut's just crazy. But this that was a short, so that I guess that's the only entry for Tyson tonight. And actually is part of a video we saw yesterday, because we did see the video yesterday. You can go watch it over his channel. But I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm tired. I did a show earlier today, and this is the evening show, and I'm just exhausted, and it's just reaching the 3-hour mark. That's crazy. All right, guys. It was fun where I lasted 3 hours. But I'm off. I'm out of here. I'm tired. Like, I am super tired. But you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side. And we'll do this again tomorrow. And we'll see what tomorrow brings, because every day is a new day. And every day is a day that we don't learn. And we could keep making the same mistakes over and over and over. And, you have the media just to highlight of what's been going on, and it's just chaos. So have a good night, and stay peaceful, because I'm still rooting for the asteroid.